We are live. At least I believe we're live. Sorry for the delay. Passport Bros. We're about to get into this. Something came across my timeline and decided that I will talk about it ever since Passport Bros has gotten as popular as of late. There's a not insignificant number of people who like to highlight every little possible flaw that goes on, as if there isn't a significant amount of flaws out here dealing with women in the Western world. So the critics be feeling like they got the ultimate, kill shot, but they really only got the kill shot against perhaps some of the things that Passport Bros say. It's the land of milk and honey. The women are more feminine. The women are more this. The women are more that. They talk about it in a grandiose way as if it's a flawless, can't lose, can't miss situation going on out there. And that's not realistic. But when those realistic expectations, or they're waxing poetic about various things out there, it opens it up for people to run a fine-tooth comb and go criticizing. But at the same time, there's a lot of people, a lot of them, who will go dumpster diving for a narrative against the Passport Bros, and they will use videos like this as the centerpieces of those narratives. I'm already seeing it in the chat room right now. So we're going to pick apart and analyze and break down to what degree is there some truth to those narratives, and to what degree is it just the same old typical women who've been traveling, getting their groove back for years, criticizing men for ultimately traveling and doing what amounts to the male equivalent, as well as the simps or men who are jealous or men who just need to make some content, who are joining in with the sisterhood to criticize men who are just traveling, living their best life. When you're traveling, living your best life, sometimes things will go awry. When you're living your worst life or midlife or whatever life you're living over here, sometimes things will go awry. When you're living your best life over here, sometimes things will go awry. But everybody has something to say. But we're about to get into that. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We about to get into it deep today. So strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls, We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right. We've done so much, so little for so long. We're now qualified to do anything with nothing. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. This is day 2 of, where the beard is weird. Had to cut the beard, but, cut the beard. It's growing back. Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. It's looking bad. Looking bad. But, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. This is going to be a reaction or feedback interaction heavy show. All right. Want to talk to y'all. I want to chop it up with y'all. I'm going to start doing something where I put the link in the chat early. Don't mean you get to come up and hang out the whole show, but if you got something you need to say on it or something you want to push back with me on, I loved when that one guy came up and argued with me about the Monique and Tyler Perry thing. Let him come up. We argued back and forth for 10 minutes. I dropped him down and then got back with the show. I like that. We're going to do more of that. We're going to do more of that. So RM, put the link in the chat right now, but just because it's there don't mean you automatically coming up. I give preference to disagreements, and I already see disagreements in the chat room. So let me get on to that. So shout out to someone named Van says, haha, watch this on Duke the Don, or was it LTTV's channel a few weeks back. These men are such dumb. I'm trying not to cuss right at the beginning of the show, but they're dumb. Okay, they're dumb. Okay. For what? Dealing with an out-of-pocket woman? It sounds to me like if they're dumb for that, sounds to me like they was dumb before they got on the plane. If they was here dealing with out-of-pocket women. So that's the problem with that argument. All the damage that was done and the police being caught, silly. It's like, talk about the pot calling the kettle black, but there is something to criticize here because they have sold the idea that it's the land of milk and honey as it pertains to women. So I get the criticism, but don't act like that's not a common thing over here. That's where it gets weird. Plenty of times black folks or American black people or whatever have been in a hotel room in a conflict between male and female that caused the hotel room to get jacked up and police come storming in. Well, they didn't come storming in, but the police had to get caught. Brother Truth Be Told says CGI lied and defamed these guys with a fake train narrative. Are you sure about that? World Star covered this and they literally titled it. I'll read their title right now. Oh damn, I don't got it up. But if I read World Star's title, it read pretty much like 4 guys ran a train on a woman and it was some price negotiations. That was pretty much how that thing read. So there's that. But we'll get deeper into that. I'm trying to find World Star's title right now, but we don't got to find World Star's title. We just gonna lean with it and rock with it. But that's the narrative out there, that it was 4 guys with on one chick. That's the narrative out there. I can't. I'm OCDing. I want to read World Star's title. I said I wasn't going to take the time to read it. Now I'm sitting there slowing down the show to find that because I want to read it. And I cannot find it. But it's on here. All right, I just made it to my emails because it was in my email. And let me see right here. All right, here we go. This is important because part of that, this was the narrative that got put out there. It says another angle of Colombian woman who fought 4 passport bros for not paying her $200 after they ran a train on her. That was the World Star title. So you're saying Coach Greg Adams said push that narrative, and that narrative is not true. I don't know if that narrative is not true, but that's what's put on there. But let me get through some more of these. Mick Oofy says the amount of content on Passport Bros for how few there actually are is mind-blowing. Wild obsession with 0.0008% of the population. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if that number is accurate. But I understand what you're saying. However, it is a popular movement, and when a movement is popular, you can't just say such a weird amount of attention. I don't know if you can exactly do that. They literally are pushing it online, which I respect, which I'm with. I'll promote it too. Brothers do need to get their passport. They do need to travel. They do need to see the world, experience some different cultures, different women, different everything. Go do it. Live your life. I'm all about black male sovereignty, freedom, and living your best life, however you constitute living your best life. So in that sense, it is a good thing. But we can't act like there isn't some sensationalization on the other end, on the Passport Bro end of it. Like they're just some people minding their business and everybody bothering them. Like, no, they're posting content on YouTube. But the amount of disdain that people have for it is overblown. Like that's the nuance in there. But let me get to some more of these. I think I have starred a couple comments. Oh yeah, this one right here. Now I thought this one was funny. He said, "Don't run interference." Now, I'm about to go ahead and get to the tape real soon. But he said, "Don't run interference." Now I think if I know why he did that, I believe that he did that. Because I normally say don't run interference for women. I say don't run interference for 304s because that's what I think people do. When men in the black manosphere criticize black women, it's a sector of guys who like to criticize the men that criticize the women. And in my estimation, in my assessment, they're running interference for hoes. They got a cape on. So if you're saying I'm doing the same thing for Passport Bros, then okay, guilty as charged. I'm running interference for Passport Bro. I will run interference for black male sovereignty. I will run interference for black men living their best life as they define it, how they see fit. I will run interference for that. If people are criticizing that, I will criticize those that criticize that. I won't criticize black men for coming on the internet and making true statements about black women. Like that's not a worthy cause to run interference for. So we not the same. One man is standing up for men, another man standing up for hoes. We not the same. But I see what you tried to do there. But all right. Shout out to Leo Anthony said, if you're new here, hit the like button. Shout out to you. He says you could take a ninja out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the ninja. When I played this video, I don't think it was that situation. Those didn't look. That was the thing about it. I thought it was going to be some passport pookies. When I played this video, those were not passport pookies. Didn't nothing look pooky about that. Yeah, Anthony Hamilton beard all day. I'll be back. Give me a minute. But shout out to Andre and Andre, love crossing borders. They never interview us successful Passport Bros. I built a 6-figure business, married 5 years. We travel the world, donate thousands, and have amazing expat tax breaks. Most Americans don't have a passport. Very well said. Very well said. I have interviewed a great many of Passport Bros. Those who just got their passport, just started traveling, those who've been living over there for over a decade, those who've been living that lifestyle, but living here, but going back and forth, traveling as much as possible for decades. I've interviewed all of it, and you are accurate that the critics, and it's crazy that it has critics, even though Passport Bros do things that kind of beg for attention. But it's still crazy that it's this much that they have this many critics. It's still crazy to me. So, but we're gonna get all into it. I'm gonna roll the tape real soon. Somebody said sexual socialism. Men's Daily Advice and Encouragement channel says good morning to the room and the Bernard Riley Show. Shout out to you. Who else we got in here? Thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat, Andre. Thank you. All right. $200 train ride for 4 people. That's cheaper than that. Yeah. Plantation Bros, LOL. It says they're arguing with women here. Yeah. But all right. Shout out to everybody. Keep that. That's actually funny. I like that one. I need a passport so I can go play golf in other countries. That honestly, that's my critique about traveling in general. Passport, bro, politics aside. That's my critique of traveling. Is like it's a lot of work and a lot of hassle and a lot of money to get on a plane and go fly across the Atlantic Ocean to be and deal with the whole airport congested-ness, the traffic over there and all of this, all of that. You got to go through hell just to get to your hotel room, just to drop all your bags down, and then now you got to go out and try to figure out a way to get some transportation to get a ride to a restaurant where you wait in line or gotta wait an hour to be seated just to finally sit down. And now I know what the spaghetti tastes like in Italy. It's like, that's why for me, I'm like not that big on traveling. Every time I travel, even when I've had a good time, I felt like the hassle of the travel just felt like too much for me. And I've said that before and people disagreed. I think it's just a part of your personality. I think if you're just an introvert, you don't like to be in situations where you're just going to be in this crowded and around people. The times I've traveled, I found myself in a position, in a mindset where I just can't wait till I just get to the quiet of the hotel room. And I realize when I'm there, I could have been in peace and quiet without going through all this. That's how I've always felt about traveling. Now, some caramel complected, racially ambiguous, barely English speaking, thick thighed, slim waisted mamacitas is motivation to deal with all of that aspect of traveling that I don't like. So I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping in that regard. It's just just all the other aspects of traveling. I don't really care for it. I just don't. But that's me. That's a very personal thing. Shout out to SKC, Community Anthropology. I love the channel, the change of your channel name, Community Anthropology. And like I said in your comment section, that shorter form video that you did, about 3 minutes long, that was excellent. I love that. Yeah, you gotta get back on. Well, I don't know if get back on it is the right term, but I like that. Some of the priceless gems that you drop can get lost in a 3-hour live stream. But just taking 3 minutes and just putting it together right there, just make the point real good. That was perfect. But anyway, Community Anthropology SKC says shooting some drone footage for a client, but I saw you on and wanted to send a salute. Got my earbuds in the clouds listening when I can. Absolutely, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate you coming through. I check you out in the clouds from time to time. I rarely come out the clouds, but I had to come out the clouds on that 3-minute video. It was perfect for my attention span because me, I can't watch nobody's 2-hour long live stream. Hypocritically, I do 2-hour long live streams, but I can't watch nobody else's. It's just I duck in there for 5 minutes and then get out. But shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. But all right, let's get into this. I don't want to belabor the point a little more. Oh, wait, no, I do got to belabor the point a little more. Because I saw this, and it wasn't enough for me to put it in the title. I didn't want to do a whole show on it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't hop on this real quick while I got the opportunity, while I got y'all here held hostage. One little thing to build up to the main topic. I don't know how long this has been out. I don't know how long this has been a thing. I just saw this, and so we gotta.
Universe 2023 broke all stereotypes associated with pageants.
All right, they saying Miss Universe 2023 broke all stereotypes. Now, this is, I guess, the first Miss Universe BBW, because all big women are beautiful, so they get, the BBW. Yeah, they get that label on them. I don't like how that look. Let me see if I got a better way to. That's a little better. Even better. I guess we'll go with that. But all right, yeah, there we go. That's better. All right, but it gets worse than this, because I understand that we are black men, and I understand that most will hit that. Okay. I'm not even going to spend that much time on this one. I'm just talking about how much the Miss Universe inclusion, fat acceptance, all women are beautiful movement has gone all the way up to the highest level of the Miss Universe pageant, but it's about to get worse than this.
A plus-size queen from Nepal, Jane Deepika, has made it to the top 20.
Catfish, turtles, and rabbits. Woo! So if she wins Miss Universe, she's probably going to need thinking about hiring a zookeeper. Work it, girl!
Making history, Miss Colombia, a mother, entered the pageant for the first time and earned.
All right, they got a mother in there. I ain't tripping yet. It ain't got, it's the first time a mother is in there. Good for her. We got to keep going.
Spot in the prestigious top 20.
Colombia was ranked among the top 10 athletes in the Colombian Tennis Federation. That competitive spirit, combined with more than a decade of modeling experience, could give her an edge on stage tonight.
Pakistan made its debut at Miss.
All right, I'm with this. It's weird. Shout out to Pakistan getting more progressive in their approach in the Miss Universe pageant. They said she didn't wear a swimsuit the whole time. Shout out to them. They doing it big. We gonna keep going.
Miss Universe and reached the top 20. She also became the first contestant to not wear a swimsuit, a first in the pageant's history.
In hopes of proving that you can be modest and still be Miss Universe.
Right on. You could be modest and still be Miss Universe. She's cute, like David Drencher said. Okay, but again, okay, so we got a overweight woman. Okay, I think DeMac the trucker or somebody said he'd smash. I know how we get down, brothers. I know how we get down. We're gonna keep okay. Got a BBW. Got a mother in there, and got a fully clothed from head to toe Pakistani woman. All right. What do y'all think is next on this very progressive, diverse Miss Universe pageant? What do y'all think is next? I'll give y'all somebody already guessed it.
Miss Portugal became the first trans woman to make it into the top 20 finalists.
Running through her head was, Miss Universe is in 3 weeks. She says preparing for her time in El Salvador was super stressful, but she arrived feeling confident and ready to take on the universe.
The energy changed up. Y'all was real progressive, and y'all was some very liberal progressive men. Y'all was like, oh, a BBW, oh yeah, she thick. Okay. Oh, they got a mother in there. Hey, but she look good though. That stomach flat. They got a Pakistani woman, fully dressed head to toe. She don't got to put on the bathing suit. She don't got to show no skin. She pretty. We progressive. We liberal men out here. All right, well, okay, but how progressive and liberal y'all trying to be? It's like y'all like, whoa, hold on. We was y'all was all in. That's why they always say when that slippery slope hit, when you let in this, you let in that, you let in this, you know who next. Every time. Every time. No, she didn't. I hear person speaking said had a penis. No, she didn't. Nobody, the person speaking did not say that. And I don't even want to play it again because I want to look at it again. I don't even want to look at it again, but y'all can rewind it if y'all think y'all heard that. But no, I'm not playing that again. And that's why I'm not playing it again, because it's like an uncomfortable feeling. It's an uncomfortable feeling when, they show you what is a man, but at a glance, it looks like a woman. And then you see the shoulders and you're like, nah, that's a man. But the most defining place where you can look to see if it's a man is like right there in the center of the screen. And I'm not going to play it again because I don't want to be looking right there. It's like I want to be trying to look to see what's going on down there. It's like, so, but that's the most confirmation place you could look to see what's going, to see if it's a man, is right there. So, but I'm not playing it again because we ain't about to be looking down there. But all right. Just wanted to roll that out there. And yep, we ain't even going there. I was about to do some content on that, but I thought it would get taken down from YouTube because an NBA player, he actually, his sister, as he called, his sister was a trans woman, biological born man. So, he referred, to him as, his sister died. He was in an interview by Cam Newton, and he said, my sister died. She's a trans woman. And Cam Newton asked, was it a hate crime? And she said, yes. I went on and did some Googling, found out the NBA player, found out the NBA player's name. So it's easy to find out, the sibling's name. So I typed in the sibling's name who was deleted, and looked up the story and read the news article and watched the news video and all of that. And yeah, it was some suspicious stuff where it wasn't a random hate crime. It looked like there was romantic involvement. And so that sent me down a rabbit hole of where I was about to do some content, but I punked out, where I was going to investigate or just look at, any of the control alt deleting of the people of the trans persuasion, particularly as they say trans Black women get taken out, control alt deleted at a higher rate than everybody else. I actually took the time to actually look at those stories and read the articles and read the news clippings and watch the video of the news and find all the supporting information surrounding the story of their death. And the vast majority of the time, it was a romantic partner who found out, and I'm using safe language, but they found out the hard way, pun intended on that. All the ones that I looked up, it was a situation where they didn't explicitly say it, but you could read between the lines and say, this man found out the hard way, pun intended, that this person was not what he thought he thought she was. And I was about to do content really just breaking that down and picking apart the whole idea of, I was about to really truly fully debunk the notion of hate crimes against them. But I was like, nah, YouTube ain't really with that. I was like, YouTube ain't with that. I punked out and said I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. But yeah. So when you said, and that's how they get the yep. That's exactly what it is. That's what I found in my research. I'll just say that and keep it moving. But all right, let's get to the main topic. 132 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like.
And she is a scammer.
Y'all hit the like button. Let's move that banner from the screen. And like we said earlier, a bit fuzzy on some of the details. Like I said, World Star called this, they called it another angle of the woman who fought 4 passport bros for not paying her $200 after they ran a train on her. Somebody in the chat room said that was a false narrative about the train. But be that as it may, here we are. And yeah, so let's go. Let me find the best way to present this. This ain't exactly how I like that to look. Okay, we may have to just go with, hold on. No, I don't. Okay, all right, we got to go with this. We just got to go with this. I got to be down here in the corner. All right. Let's get into this. Let me do that there. All right, let's go.
Put her on Instagram. Put her on Instagram and YouTube telling her she's a scammer. So motherfuckers won't fuck with her. So she won't get no business. Okay. She is a scammer.
My bad. I had a edit in there. Quit caping. You talking to me? Put the link in the chat. RM. Anybody can come up if they got a disagreement. Anybody can come up if they got a disagreement. You saying I'm caping or capping? Caping? Link in the chat room. Mike from Micah Benz Perkins says for found out the hard way joke. Oh yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. For Dane C in the building says some people dropping she cute in the chat. I think they talking about the fully closed Palestinian woman. I believe that's who they were talking about. Let's not play them like that now. Let's not play them like that.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
We're not gonna do that to them. But all right, let's go.
Put her on. Say she is a scammer. Put her on Instagram. Put her on Instagram and YouTube telling her she's a scammer. So motherfuckers won't fuck with her.
All right, that's a futile effort. South America is too big. I don't think you can put somebody's face on Instagram, even if you go to a little private, Passport Bro website or a Discord and put the face up there of somebody who's scamming, a chick who's scamming, trying to get away with the money without giving up the goods or trying to, do something to steal some money. I don't think that will be effective. That's a futile effort. Brazil too big. I forgot where they at. They're at Cartagena. All those places down there is too big. Like, no, you can't out nobody. And yeah, Worldstar gave the evidence anyway. People still gonna see her and still probably not even recognize her from the video. All you gotta do is change her hair a different color. They all look like down there.
So she won't get no business. No business.
Crazy people. No pay me. Fucky, everything today, tonight. No me for me, no me, no nothing. No quiere, no.
Obviously, there's a dispute there in payment. If this is a
This is a chick who posted the video. She narrating it. You know, she got scratchy cigarette voice.
Business transaction. When you travel abroad, the first thing you should do is at least have an agreement. But let's continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put it on Instagram, put it on YouTube.
Mal parido.
Put it on Instagram, put it on YouTube.
Mal parido.
I agree with you 100%. If it's a y'all gonna see how ridiculous the conflict is. Where it was a dispute over $100 or $150. If $50 can make this chick go away, then give her $50 and get her to fuck up out your hotel room. I was trying to keep it clean, but I had to cuss right there. I agree 100%. You down there with your vacation money. You tricking off money. You haven't. I'm not even mean on women. When you're on vacation, you kind of blowing money anyway. You kind of frivolous with your money anyway. You don't go on vacation with just barely enough money to scrape by. If you typically when you go on vacation, you got spendable, blowable income in your pocket. If you could just pay an extra $50 to get her up out that room, pay the $50 and get her up out of there. Especially when it started getting wild. Like it got to the point of full blown stuff got, ridiculously physical. Stuff about to get ridiculously physical up in here. And if it get like that, that's when stuff is just out of control. GA Boy says, why do dudes get mad when you call these dudes lame and corny, but they post embarrassing videos like these? Well, the dudes don't post videos like these. At least I don't think these dudes. They dumb if they posted this. I'm assuming that they probably showed somebody they know, and then somebody they know sent it somewhere on the internet, or sent it to somebody who sent it to somebody who sent it to World Star. But I don't think they posted nothing like this. But the whole concept, why do dudes get mad when you call these dudes lame? Because you're calling them lame simply because they're men who travel and hook up with women from other countries. Like that's the reason why you're calling them lame. Now, if you go dumpster diving for some harder evidence, yeah, you're gonna find something. You're gonna find, situations like this where dudes are out there, ending up in goofy situations that similar to what dudes be ending up here. Plenty of hotel rooms get tore up here. So, it's like you're calling them lame not for this reason. You're calling them lame for your other ulterior motives. That's really what it's about. Eugene Thompson saying, why are they running trains? That's ridiculous. I agree 100% with that. Yeah, I don't believe in trains. I don't believe in doing anything with, I'm not going behind. I don't care if I'm at the front of the train. I'm not, ain't nobody standing in line behind me waiting, and I'm not getting in line. I'm not doing the group thing. The only way the group thing is happening is I'm the only guy in the equation. That's how I roll. So I agree with you on that one. I agree with you 100% on that one. All right, let's get into it.
Parido. No me toques más porque te va a reventar el celular. Parido.
Don't leave this bitch in here with all your shit in here.
No, she got to go.
I don't trust her. Don't leave her in here by herself.
Just cost half an hour. What was the original price?
Tomada de dinero.
Show the money, take outside.
Yeah.
And outside, all the way out.
Mi amigo tiene el dinero para ti.
Let's go.
Mi amigo tiene el
And
dinero.
if she don't want to go, I will call
Él
the police.
tiene $100 para ti. Él tiene $100 para ti. ¿Quieres los dólares o no?
You
Chica,
got the money, right?
chica, ¿quieres los dólares?
Let me move that comment off of there.
Mi amigo tiene el
And
dinero.
if she don't,
Because they're interpreting the language on there, because a lot of this conversation was taking place in other language. Yeah, son, it's hot rod trains is gay to me too. Yeah. Okay, I won't say gay. I'll just say it ain't. I'll just say I don't get it. I'll just say I don't get the point. I'll just say that. Okay, we got an expert. Okay, she says. Feminine Melody says, a train is where multiple people are sexing one person at a time. If others are around in any way, touching or sexing, that is orgy-some. Okay. Perhaps. I mean, all right. If for me, it's the male to female ratio. That's the only thing that matter. Only thing that matter to me is the male to female ratio. That's how I define it. I don't care what people are doing and who they doing it with. If the male to female ratio is off, I call it a train and I'm out.
Money, take outside.
Yeah.
And outside, all the way out.
Mi amigo tiene el dinero para ti.
Said my friend has money for you. So this is where that negotiation is at. This is where that negotiation is coming from.
Let's go.
Mi amigo tiene el
and
dinero.
if she don't want to go, I will call the
Él
police.
tiene $100.
He has 100 for you. Perhaps 100 was agreed to.
Él tiene $100 para ti. ¿Quieres los
You want the money or not?
dólares o no?
You got the money, right?
Chica, ¿quieres los dólares o no?
She says, I told you no less. I told you 150, no less. All right. So yeah, hearing the degrees of the negotiation. I am trying to change that and make that not look like that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. All right. That's how that's going to look. That's fucked up. Damn. All right. I just got to deal with that. Let me actually just back out and cancel that. All right. My bad. Yeah, I was trying to fix something in the back. All right. She's saying she told him no 150, no left. Could have been a language barrier. Could have been a language barrier. But that one guy seemed like he's speaking very fluently, so I don't know.
What? ¿Qué?
Son $200.
No.
Jockey's Retro saying, what about those sex parties? What sex parties? I don't go to sex parties.
$100 no más.
All right, Colombian woman. She said 200 now. So it was 100. She said before, I said 150, no less. They kept trying to talk her down to the 100 that they thought they agreed on. Now she's saying it's 200 now. Not yesterday's price is not today's price. 1 minute ago's price is not right now's price. Like she just changed the price on them. Like she out there clowning. Like what happened to $40? And it's like that's where that's one of the legitimate criticisms that within the passport bro movement, they have legitimate conversations about too many dudes done went over there and then made the block hot, then paid too much, then ran the prices up, and now the chicks like pay me, and it's like, you know, they were saying it was more cool, chill, relax, and you just have a good time with the ladies. Like no, they didn't went down there and made the block too hot. Like that's a legitimate discussion I've heard actual passport bros have.
No más. $100. Te pregunta por 50 más. Ahora te pregunta por 100. No.
Dane C is saying they can't afford 150. See, here's the thing. One, they should be able to afford 150, but like, okay, here in America, I'm not talking about tricking. I'm talking about I'm not going to, even if I have it, I won't be spending more on a chick than what I think is necessary for the moment. But in that situation, when you're overseas, you're on vacation, you're in a foreign country, there's a dispute, an issue, a conflict that you could have settled with $50. You settle it with $50 and get her the hell up out of your life. Like that's the only true area where I think they messed up here. You know, everybody else, these niggas lame. Like, no, you know, y'all not having the real conversation. They messed up being over in another country. Nobility at best. You say this got to be fake. Oh, hell no, it ain't. You about to see why this ain't fake. Game changer. You say nah to that you don't think that if $50 would have got this chick out of their life, you don't think they should have just paid the $50 and got her the hell out? I'm on vacation. I'm not, I'm trying to get her out. I hold my ground and fight my battles on domestic soil. I'm not fighting battles over there. That ain't my war. I'm gonna pay that over there. I'm gonna pay the extra $50 and get her the hell up on out.
No, $100, $100, tú sabes. Tú sabes.
Dangerous people.
I wouldn't have anything to do with you.
Dangerous people.
$100 más.
Hey, Sean, did you show her money?
Yeah, but she still act like she don't want the fucking money.
But she trying to extort you, man.
What was the rate on the
Don't worry about the rate.
Extortion is the correct word. Extortion is 100% the correct word. J-Boy said some nonsense with his last comment, but with this one, it's partial truth. It's some truth in that one. If you tricking, there are no rules or principles. You don't let some chick rob you, but it's like if somebody, I mean, it's legal over there, but if somebody is trying to, like, okay, what do you do? Okay, in America, what do you do if a prostitute steals $300 from you? You gonna call the police and tell the police this woman who I was trying to buy some pussy from for $150 stole snatched $300 from? Like, what? It's like if you're not on your shit and you in the process of getting got, it's like almost like you got. So some situations it's like you just got. Now, when you're doing nefarious shit, you're doing nefarious shit. There are some L's you just have to hold. A $50 L is an L big enough to where they could take that L and then to just enjoy the rest of their vacation. You know, they could take that L, go hit the strip or hit the beach or do whatever they do out there and just have a good time. I think you take the $50 L. Game Changer saying no. We're going to talk about that in a second.
It's just the fact that now you offered her the money. Now she act like she don't want to take the fucking money.
She don't.
She's trying to twist us out of trying to get some more fucking money.
Yeah.
She need to go.
Yeah.
She need to go. You know what the fuck you doing.
Oh, yeah.
She's trying to twist us out of more money.
If you need pay me $200.
Fuck you.
$100.
Oh my God.
$100, baby. No. Exactly. Take that motherfucker. Take that bitch outside. Throw that motherfucker outside. Take it outside. Take it outside.
The video, no.
Take it outside.
Mira, touch my face.
Said, buddy, sound a little hood. No, I'm not getting passport Pookie vibes from these dudes. That's just normal man. You know, you ain't got to be a Pookie to be like, man, she got to get the fuck out of here. No, take her outside. She got to go. You're like, no, that ain't Pookie shit. That's just normal man. Pookie or non-Pookie know when a chick need to get the fuck out and can enunciate the words she need to get the fuck out.
Toss my cell
Come on.
Toss my
Say,
cell
go
phone in the
out.
video.
You need to leave.
Toss my cell phone.
Hey,
Toss my cell phone.
delete her shit.
Take a
Delete her phone. Delete her shit.
Toss my cell phone.
Uh-oh.
Toss my cell phone. Toss my cell phone. Toss my cell phone.
Looking and sounding very Keisha-y out there. Andre said they are passport Pookies. I mean, if that's, you know, if you define it that way, I mean, I trust I trust your word and how you define it, but they didn't seem like no Pookies, you know. But all right, I trust your word. You out there, you out there in them streets. All right, I trust you. I trust your word. But yeah, that was pretty aggressive and pretty masculine. And you know the narrative. The women are more feminine out there. Like this is okay. This is the evidence that everybody been dumpster diving for. Let me find a chick out there that's out of pocket. Let me find one. We found it. We got all our evidence. They going over there. They dealing with the same stuff. They might as well stay over here and deal with our shit because this is the same shit over there. That's the argument and narrative that comes from videos like this. And now these guys are lames and losers and blah, 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 blah. The guys who are calling them that, in a lot of cases, not all cases, but in many cases, are guys who deal with this domestically. They lame, you lame. It's like that's how I view that, but let's go.
Delete her shit.
Get her first. Get her first. No. Get her
She's not good.
In the elevator. You done damaged the table.
Oh man.
Right over here.
Why you say nah, Bernard? This is embarrassing. I didn't say it wasn't embarrassing. You're dealing with something like this with a woman and it's on tape and the tape get out. Yeah, that is embarrassing as hell. I never said it wasn't. They're like, this is ridiculous. This is as bad as it get. You're dealing with a chick, a hotel room done got tore up, and you done had to physically apprehend a chick and throw her up out of there. Like it literally don't get worse than that. It don't get worse than that. When I'm talking about the people that go dumpster diving for an L and they found a good one, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. She showed the hell out. She showed the hell out every bit as much as how we've seen chicks show the hell out here. In a real way, it's like women are women. The thing that matters is a lot of times the environment. The environment over there with some of them, and I've talked to passport bros who have had all the proper nuance with this. You say if you go to the certain districts, you're dealing with hoes. You're dealing with women that sell pussy. You go to other certain areas, you're dealing with normal women that's on some normal stuff. And that's where you're going to see the femininity, the women who are raised in a more traditional sense. But if you out there in the certain strips, the certain districts, the certain areas, yeah, this is what you're dealing with. I think a not insignificant number of passport bros do go right to the areas like that where you just buying it, but then some of them go to the places, I've talked to Skylar, I've talked to a lot of them where, they go to places, you hang out, you meet a chick, you take them somewhere, y'all hang out for the weekend. She just enjoying staying in your nice little hotel room and eating, nice restaurant food, and you do some, do something relatively small for her, and she happy. So it is a conversation to be had, like the flat foot tricking, as they call it, where it's just money on the countertop, like that kind of tricking. If you're doing that, then yeah, you're likely to deal with probably the worst type of chicks over there that are going to be more so reflective of the type of chicks that we see over here. That may be a possibility on the table. I put the link in the chat room for people who got the experience over there to really talk on that, because I'm willing to say that situations like this where there's conflicts of price negotiations got to be fairly common. Not that it get this bad every time, but that happens if you're going to those certain areas. If you're going to the areas where that's what's going down, that's what's expected. You literally just buying the box. Well, let's get through the rest of the video.
Yeah. Give him money so he got that. They broke the shit out of it. Yeah. Just break the fucking table.
Hey.
Okay.
You better calm down, girl.
Get it out there.
You need to calm down. Yeah, I got it all on video too.
You touched me. You touched me.
Crazy.
Guys, please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Kindly like, share, and definitely subscribe to the.
All right, that's the chick talking. All right, we're bringing some people up. Welcome, Game Changer and Andre. Let's move that banner down there. I just made a new format on the fly, but let's move that banner so we can see them. All right. What's y'all initial thoughts? The video pretty much over, but what's y'all initial thoughts? I guess I'll start with GC. Let me what did you have to say on this?
Well, from looking at the chat room, I think that there's a misunderstanding, the brothers that are calling them broke or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think that what the brothers are doing, and I agree with, and I appreciate them for this, is that they're drawing a line. What this woman is trying to do is hustle them. It's not a matter of, if it's $50 or $5. Some people just refuse to be hustled and set a precedent that this is okay. What they're doing by drawing this line is, making it clear that, listen, we will not reward such bad behavior. We did that in the States, and it turned women in our community into a bunch of obnoxious bitches, and we will not do it again. We shall not be moved. I don't care if it's $50 or $5. Get your ass out. We agreed on a price, and we paid that agreed price. Get the fuck out. I agree with this message.
I hear what you're saying, and that's why I said earlier, domestically, I'm willing to fight the battle and not get taken advantage of. If I'm on vacation in another country and $50 could make this chick go away, a part of me I'm of the mindset, pay the 50 and get rid of her. It's like
she knows that you're of that mindset. You see, it's not a matter of value given. It's a matter of value received. She's receiving that $50 is worth a lot more to her than a fourth of a $50 is worth to you. She understands that, and she's going to continue to do this crap because she understands this. It's not a matter. It's a matter of condoning certain behavior and encouraging certain behavior. You don't want to encourage somebody to be an obnoxious bitch. You know, either be a honest businesswoman or get the fuck out.
These thoughts should have been had prior to getting off the plane. That's what makes these guys a passport pookie and not passport bros. These thoughts, these lines, you know, drawing the line in the sand, I agree with you. But those lines should have been drawn before they gotten off the plane to decide that the quality of women that they were going to deal with once they got off the plane, the locations that they were going to be in once they got off the plane, how they were going to behave as men once they got off the plane. Those lines, I agree with you, lines being drawn in the sand, but they drew the line at the wrong time.
Well,
you see where I'm going with that? So what you're saying is, yes, I don't want to get. They shouldn't get scammed. They shouldn't got robbed. They should have been men, quality men, getting off that plane and being ready to draw lines in the sand mentally before they even got off the plane. So yes, draw lines in the sand, like we often say down here. Don't leave your common sense and customs. Don't leave your brain on a plane. This is what real passport bros remind guys of doing. If you leave your brain on a plane or your common sense and customs, then you have to create this pseudo draw the line in the sand in a scenario like this. Now, the end of this video, because I did a recap on this video a few months ago as well. This video ends with the police coming.
Yeah, let me go ahead and play the rest of the video.
This channel, for the life of me, if you are going to try.
Yeah, I hate this chick voice, and she call herself trying to give advice to brothers. Really, she just she just anti-black. I can just tell she anti-black men traveling, but she giving fake advice.
Please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Kindly like, share, and definitely subscribe to this channel. For the life of me, if you are going to travel for a peace of mind, I think you should also have the ability to decipher the type of women that you're trying to get away from. There's a lot of the passport bros are saying certain women have attitudes, but even overseas, you running into them, there's something that's attracting you to these types. I don't know. Leave me a comment.
All right. That's
she's a scammer.
That's the end of the video. Hold on, let me get it. I can still hear it. I shouldn't be hearing it. All right, there. So, all right. Let's I'm gonna go back to you, Andre, really quick. He says, "This is why American escorts hate black men." This wasn't a situation that applies to that.
I think what Sleepy really means to say is this is why American escorts hates black men. And by escorts, I mean people who look to extort black men.
Yeah, it's like I'm hearing a lot of black men make ridiculous statements about this. I mean, what they did wrong, only thing they did wrong in my assessment, and Game Changer did. Yeah, well, no, I was about to say you argued quite well that they didn't do anything wrong, but
they did several things wrong.
If they and we'll talk about that.
Man defending his dollar is never wrong.
We'll get into that, but in my view, if something is going to be said that they did wrong, if you're just of the view like me, and maybe just because I don't travel, like it's not a traveling out of the country is not a regular lifestyle for me, so I don't feel the need to plant a flag or draw a line. If I got a little problem, I'll make the little problem go away. That's my view. But if you're somebody who's over there regularly making those problems go away, change the market. And I think that's at the core of what Game Changer's point is. If everybody just start paying extra to make a problem go away, then every chick is coming asking for extra, and then now the things that was beneficial that made you want to go over there are no longer beneficial. So you do got to draw a line if you are trying to plant a permanent or semi-permanent flag over there. But I don't have that view, take, or perspective on it. I'm like, no, I'm getting her the hell out of my hotel room early and often. But all right, we'll go ahead and get into it. I'll pass to you, Andre, and RM. You can drop that back down at the bottom. But but go ahead, Andre.
We understand that right now the passport bro title or narrative, if you put it in the title, is the hot thing right now, one of the hot things right now. We understand that. So a lot of times with World Star and other individuals, they can't say bros with a passport. that doesn't hit the algorithm. But if you put Passport Bros and you umbrella Passport Pookies or mongers under the same umbrella of us that are expats or Blue Book gentlemen or Passport Bros, now you got these guys. Now it's easier to hit the algorithm. Black expats can't hit algorithm as easy. Blue Book gentleman doesn't hit the algorithm as easy. But because the term Passport Bros hits the algorithm easier, they put every behavior pattern of a male that's negative in other countries under the umbrella over the last year or two. Look what happened to the Passport Bro. And we're constantly telling you guys, first of all, these gentlemen are not Passport Bros. There are 4 pillars to the Passport Bro movement. Hear me out, gentlemen. Number 1, we leave our home countries because of cost of living. It is extremely difficult and expensive for the average American to succeed and even accomplish the goals that they want to accomplish. And you know, I can go through stats and stats and stats regarding that. Number 2 pillar is cultures. The cultural norms in our home countries are not the norms around the world. How we treat children is different. How we treat family is different in other countries. And how we especially treat the elderly is different around the world compared to how we treat them in the States. Number 3 pillar of the Passport Bro movement is countries. I didn't say country. Passport Bros hold no allegiance to just one flag. Yes, we love for example, we love the United States. I'm red, white, and blue for life. But yet I enjoy countries. My wife and I, over the last 4 or 5 years, have traveled to several in 8 countries. So we hold no allegiance to one country. And then fourthly, you can say the ladies, or you could put whatever C you want for the ladies. But at the end of the day, the ladies are, for true Passport Bros, are the bottom of the pillar or the bottom of the cake or the cherry on top of the cake. We focus on the cake as true Passport Bros. We focus on the cake. Passport Pookies focus on the cherry. So when we say Game Changer or others say, or myself say, that these guys are using Passport Pookie behavior, not saying that they aren't mature, not saying that they aren't men with money. We're saying that even though they have maturity and money, in the grand scheme of their behavior, getting off the plane, that was Pookie behavior based off of what the rest of us have already experienced. I give you a perfect example. Those guys were in Cartagena, Colombia, and I'm gonna shut up after this. Cartagena receives over 3.5 million visitors every year. 3.5 million people. Most of them have never gotten drugged, never gotten robbed, don't do pay for play, don't be in the wrong areas at the wrong time, don't hang out with the wrong people, get on the plane safely, and get back home safely. 3.5 million. You can look it up right now for 2023. Medellin, Colombia, 1.7 million visitors in 2023. Most of those got on the plane, got off the plane safely, had a great time, and went back home safely. But it's the Passport Pookies that are getting robbed, that are getting drugged, that are getting deleted. What do I mean by that? These men have decided, forget what the rest of the 3.5 million are doing. Forget what the rest of the 1.7 are doing. We're going to do what we want. Like the brother once said, play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
All right. My only question with that is that if a big part of Passport Bros, I would say the biggest part, the part on the awning, on the marquee, is the women. You put that all the way at the bottom.
No, actually, and the reason why I put it at the bottom, because you guys in America because as you well know, most Americans don't have their passports.
Agreed.
And those that do have their passport, over 50% of Americans use their passport for Canada and Mexico. So most Americans don't go or travel like you do, or like I do, or like even Game Changer would. Most Americans don't know.
Full disclosure, I don't travel. I've been to Canada, but I live in Michigan. So
okay.
So I do have a passport, but I have not.
I have a passport and I travel.
Yeah, Game Changer got a passport. Yeah, Game Changer got a passport and he travels. I got a passport. I've never crossed the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean. So
and so it is. And so now you prove my narrative. So it's easier to sell you guys on one part of the 4 pillars I mentioned, because it's the easiest one. Who wants to talk about the cost of living? It's already difficult enough to talk about cost of living in the States. I don't want to talk about cost of living in other countries. Who wants to talk about other cultures? Because it showcases a negative light on how our culture in the States is not necessarily the norm around the world. Not saying that it's better or not, just saying that it's different. Who wants to talk about other countries? The United States, we've taught to be in a bubble and we're number one in everything, right? So what's the one pillar that's left? The women. So let's talk about the women. And I don't even like when other passport bros or dudes that want to come under the passport bro umbrella talk about women in the States, because there are some amazing women in the States. Amazing. So there's no excuse to talk about or put down women in the States. But at the same time, there are some amazing guys that are passport bros. So there's no need of putting down the amazing passport bros, such as myself and others that are out here doing things. But since you guys grabbed hold to the narrative, it's the women first. And we'll tell you, guys, it's not the women. You guys ignore all the other guys that talk about cost of living and how this villa they have is only $500 a month, or this condo that they bought, or this business they bought. I never see YouTubers interview us on the business side of perspective. Also, when it comes to the countries that we go to, you got Ace Live, you got Check and Effect, you got I Am Marwa, you got all the white brothers that are passport bros. Nobody ever sits us down and talk about the countries that we go to, except for other passport bros. But when it comes to the narrative of the ladies, everybody has something to say. And the amazing part is, people who don't use their passports and us passport bros, the true ones, and the expats are saying, dudes, that is not the true narrative. Those guys are pookies. Just like we always say in the black community, you got black people and you got ninjas. Black people are not ninjas, and ninjas don't act like black people. So it is in the passport.
Agree.
Okay,
agree. Agree 100%. I just want to make it clear. The type of passport bros that you're talking about, I have interviewed them. I have talked to them. I've talked to people at every level of passport strata. So I have done that, and I understand there's an aspect of this where it's the right thing for you to do to present, present the better narrative. But the fact of the matter is, what you were doing and what people like you have been doing for years. There's brothers like you that quietly, without YouTube, have been doing what you have been doing.
I just got my Colombian citizenship last week.
Exactly. So so the fact of the matter is, and it's kind of hard to get away from the fact that a large part of the passport bro movement is this internet, online, social media, propagation of it all. And it's like you can't really get around that. It's almost like we're seeing it as this, is being presented as this, is being advertised as this. But when you scratch beneath the surface for the people who are really doing it for real, this is what it's about. But from the mainstream standpoint, this, like, I don't think people are out of pocket or wrong to say that, to call it what it is based off what they see. But
True.
it's a deeper level. Like I think where you're at, you're like somebody who got the PhD in it, and PhDs are probably rare. I mean, probably too. PhDs are rare. So that's one aspect of this. But I understand from a narrative standpoint that, a passport bro reaching his final form, it is to land somewhere where you're at. But go ahead, Game Changer. You got it.
Thank you. Okay, so I don't know how this conversation drifted into the definition and pillars of being a passport bro, because these guys didn't really claim passport bro.
That is true.
I do think that there is a strong need or desire to protect the image and reputation of this organization that exists called Passport Bro, but this is not that. This is something completely different. And we're talking about, these four brothers and, what they did, and were they in the right in this particular situation? And in my opinion, they were. And we're also talking about their judgment in this situation. Now, whether they left the plane and said, listen, I am not going to be taken advantage of. I am not going to let some local hoe take advantage of me. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $50. I don't care if it's $500. I will not be hustled. If they want to make that stand and that's the hill that they want to fight on, then I salute them for that, because they are fighting for, you know, what they feel is right. And they don't feel that having somebody extort money from them is right. I don't think it's a matter. In fact, I'm almost certain that it's not a matter of, you know, $12.50 per person, you know, in this particular instance. I don't think that that's the case. It's a matter of, we agreed upon a price and you are changing that price after the act is performed. I mean, and that's with anything. If you go get a haircut and they say, you know, it's $10, and then after your hair is cut, say, give me $20, or I'm gonna, you know, or I'm gonna wreck your place. It's like, no, I don't care what you do. I'm not gonna let you hustle me like that. You know, so I commend these brothers. I'm not gonna call them ninjas just because they are a victim of extortion or attempted extortion. I'm not going to call them Pookie because they are a victim of attempted extortion.
These are not victims.
You know,
far from it.
I'm sorry.
Game changer. If you told me that barbershop changes the prices after I get my haircut, if you say, Drake, there's a great barbershop over there, they'll cut the goatee up just right, but they have a tendency of changing the prices.
Well, nobody
after
told
they
them
cut
that.
your hair, Andre.
Nobody told them that.
I purposely go into that barbershop.
They are telling us that. Well, excuse me, brother. I hate to interrupt, but nobody has told them that, and unfortunately, they are telling us that. So these brothers are now telling us that these women, and they put her on the thing. They said this particular woman does this particular thing. So thank you to these brothers, you know, for letting society know that this is how they get down.
I'll tell you this. I'll let you know this. Living here and seeing this behavior over and over and over again, as I'm having conversations with men that haven't used their passports, even though you have them, gathering dust. So my point in saying that is, I know this scenario. Colombia is not a country that you automatically put on your place of vacation. You have to purposely research Colombia, or have heard about Colombia, or make assumptions by a friend that came back from Colombia and say, hey guys, you could go over and it's a narrative that, so you don't just sit back and say, you know, I got 10 vacation days. Where am I go this year? Hawaii, Cancun. No, I'm going to Colombia. You don't do that. You have to purposely do some type of homework, or have had to have somebody that sold you a narrative to get on that plane to come here. That's how guys get here. My scenario was my friends were Colombia. What my point is, these guys 9 times out of 10.
Let him finish, GC. Let him go.
9 times out of 10, these guys often know, and we see this all. Game changer. I'm telling you, guys, I see this more than I see postage stamps. These guys get off these planes, pretend to ignore the DC Robs, the Razor Rays, and all the other YouTubers that are giving them advice, including ourselves, that are giving them advice on, if you're going to come here for that, this is how you would move. They thoroughly ignore that. I'm going to do what I want because I got the American ego and American privilege and American dollar. And then when they get the results of it, then when they get the results of it, and you know why these guys get hustled? Because they don't want to listen. That's what my point is. Game changer, they do all the research on how to get here. They do the research on how to get the Airbnb. They know where to go to the clock tower in Cartagena to get the pay for play, because that's what a pay for play was. They just moved it over the last couple of weeks. So you can't even go down there anymore because the governors and mayors in Colombia are cracking down on pay for play all over the country. So now little kids can go down there and play at night, to where a couple of weeks ago, for years, they couldn't do that. So pay for play has been moved, but you wouldn't know that because you don't live here. My point is, these guys came down here, did all the research, did all the homework to get here, and then want to be in a scenario where many of us have warned them, guys, you don't want to deal with those type of women, especially that. I want to do what I want to do. Okay, guys. Do what you want to. You're adult men. It's your money. We're not pocket watching. We just give you a heads up. As your fellow passport bro is a network.
What do you mean,
as a fellow network, we try to look out for you
bro.
guys. And what ends up happening?
They're not claiming passport, bro. Let's put
it like this. Let's take it out of the passport as your as a brother from the States talking to another brother from the States. Guys, you might not want to do that. And we warned them several times, and they never listen, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And then when you get your results, you can't sit back and cry and say, look what happened. Look at the on camera. We got her breaking the
all right, brother.
No, you chose her.
What you're doing is some I told you
chose
so.
her.
What you're doing is some I told you so. The brothers you never talked to.
No, it's no.
That's exactly
These
what
brothers
you're doing.
know.
You're
This
basically
is the irony of it. Game changer.
Hey, we put it
game
on
changer.
YouTube.
I just want to put it like
They didn't
this.
watch my channel or take my
Game
advice.
changer. I'm putting it like this.
Okay, well, put it
I'm
like
not a
this.
mechanic.
Put it
I'm
like
not a
this.
mechanic, so I know very little about. I know how to change the oil. I can do a little bit of transmission. My point in saying this is,
of the area,
you know very little to nothing about traveling and living in Colombia.
Do you
know nothing
for them?
So for you to give that narrative, you trying to negate my experience and
it's not a
insight
matter
of
that.
this and all the hundreds of consultations I've done with guys like this.
Oh God!
That don't listen after you give them the consultation. You talk to
you
them,
haven't given them a consultation. What are you talking about?
Still, these guys do
you
the
have
exact.
Not
all right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let's
these guys get consultation.
All right, fellas. All right. Let's bring it down. Appreciate the passion. Let's throw it to Passport OG. Let's get his take. Trelly Trails in the building. What's up? Salute. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
Audio check. Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. You're good.
So the first thing I want to say is we have two different standards for when black men go overseas and when black women go overseas, right? There's a travel warning right now in Jamaica where very few black men go, but mostly black women go, and there's not a confluence of black women channels lambasting women for going to Jamaica. As a matter of fact, I saw a trailer for a movie, right? And I'm not playing about this. It's a black woman, and she's about to marry a black man, and supposedly the black man does something crazy, and then she flies off to China, and then some Chinese man who's married decides to fall in love with her, like, and you see in the comments just this group of black women like, oh, that's beautiful. This is a beautiful story, beautiful. I want to do it. But if there's a black man doing something that's a little bit outside of the norm for black dating, it's just this, how dare you? How could you? You're tricking. But you don't see the same like fervor when women go down to, I don't know, they go to Jamaica. I don't know where else they go, but it's celebrated. There's a movie about it. Stella got a groove back, right? So I just don't really understand. Even if some black dudes go down to Colombia and lose, okay, like look at the local news report at any inner city. It just matches. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, why would so many people care about a small group of black men doing something outside of the norm when for black women is celebrated? Black woman goes to Europe and she rides the carousel through Europe, and it's like, oh, she's living her best life. It's like, I just don't understand the double standard. I
can tell you easily why they care. It's the distinction between just bros who, happen to have passport and just live a global lifestyle versus the movement of passport bros that just triggers and rubs people the wrong way. And I think that ends up being at the crux of the argument. But you saying why?
But why only men? Women are doing the same thing. Women are going overseas to Italy. They're going to like Jamaica. They're going to Spain, and they're doing the same thing that black men are doing. But there's just this ire for black men doing something besides battling it out in the American dating market, where you have Sukihana and whatever you call that, whatever that is. Like, that's the growing norm. And if you have some guys that are saying, hey, I want to go somewhere else, I don't know if I really see anything wrong with it.
Feminine melanin. Hold on real quick. She says Stella wasn't out there seeking peen and paying for penis.
Yes,
she
was.
bought that nigga.
She
Layla,
bought that dude.
cut it out. she
Thank
went
you,
her 40
Bernard.
40-year-old successful, educated, high earning ass
42.
over there and bought her some 22-year-old chiseled, cut up, muscular,
Sweet. They're like dudes.
penis.
They're like guys. They're like sweet as bear meat.
Who happened to be gay. That was just a small inconvenience. But
is that fantastic?
She bought that. She did buy some penis. Let's not lie about that one.
Salute,
but hold on real quick before I'm about to pass it to Fantastic. But shout out to who we got here. Let me know in the chat how to say that. I don't know if that's a capital L and two lowercase L's or a capital L and two capital I's. I don't know how to say your name. But shout out to you. He said that brother preaching. He's talking about Andre. He agreed with what Andre was saying. A lot of people in the chat room. A lot of people in the chat room feeling what Andre was saying. But let's keep it moving. We're gonna go back to him, but we gotta get Fantastic in on this. Salute. Hey, hold on, Fantastic. How tall was OG in real life? Like
he about 6'1", 6'1.5", something like that. He about right.
It was a bad angle. He was looking like he was part of the Little Fella Federation in that picture.
No, hey, I saw. He ain't got no good hairline, but he ain't got no bald spot on top of his head either. So I mean, OG doing good for 65.
All right, shout out to OG. Shout out to OG. Had to roast him up a little bit yesterday, but go ahead, Fantastic. You got it. Fantastic. Mic check. Are you there?
Oh, my bad. I thought I unmuted. Can you hear me?
Okay. Oh yeah, you good.
All right, cool. Shout out everybody on the panel, man. Shout out Bernard. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm with Passport OG as to where, it just seems to be, cool for me and not for D. But I think the focus needs to be just move past that. A lot of this back and forth of whatever about, that. I think the biggest thing we miss here, and I even just picked this up, and I didn't say it when I covered this. That dude wasn't a black dude. He was like, Dominican. I know black. Them dudes Spanish speaking dudes. You know what I'm saying? Them would be the bald head dude that was doing the Hulk Hogan matchup with the girl. That wasn't no black dude. So it's crazy.
I mean, there were American black men.
No, it were. But the main guy, like the big L-taker, again, the dude that's in there trying to do his best WWF impression from the 80s. That was like some Dominican dude, man, or some, some Afro-Hispanic guy. But lo and behold, like you said, when anything is negative that goes down, they automatically get grouped in as passport bros. Even people that may not know about or have anything to do with the movement. And remember the dude that went down there with he got stuck in DR with like $40 or whatever it was. Dude wasn't a passport bro. And no matter how much he said that my bad, I'm in the airport. That's not too much.
Hey man, quit living your best life. We know you just retired from the military, man. You can't be on a plane every time you come on the stream now. You can't.
Hey man, I'm catching. I'm not saying,
too hard, man.
Hey man, I'm making up for lost time. But yeah, man. The guy that went down for Rillo, right? Jay Rillo or whatever. He wasn't a passport bro, and he told people, hey, there was a social experiment, but yet still they made him the face of passport bros. So brothers got to be smarter, man. A lot of these dudes are starting to get a little wild, man. Listen, I'm for it, man. Y'all know me. Hey, man, live your best life, boy. Travel foreign and domestic, do your thing. But we do have to be a whole lot smarter out here, man, and understand that if you're a black man and it's something negative, you will be a representation of the whole, even if you may not represent it at all.
What did they do negative? Fantastic.
They got some chick in the crib, bro, and they let it escalate to the point of where it didn't have to go. It's called a thing of like, but listen, it's such thing as calling it's taking your losses, GC. Okay, and you can say that. Had they paid, what did she go up on the price? Yeah, but he's just take your losses. Out of 4 guys, hold up, brother, it's 4 guys. GC, are we really going to defend 4 grown men and 1 woman over $200, $50 a piece? It's not about just letting it get its story, bro. Now look what happened.
Oh, it's $50 a piece.
With $4 out of 4, it was 4 grown men in there, right?
$50 total.
That's whatever it was.
Hold on, wait, time out. The negotiation.
No, she was only with one guy.
Okay, good, because that was the World Star presented it as it was a train. Hold on, mute up real quick, Fantastic. World Star presented it like they was four of them running the train. She was with one guy, and the price was $100. And when she was sitting there at the table, she said that she told them that I said no less than 150. And then I think at some point, then they tried to argue it back down to 100, and then she said now it's 200. Yeah, so she kept upping that damn price. So so those were the negotiations. She was trying to get American prices for pussy. Like, I mean,
and you know what? You know how that started? They realized when Americans would come down here a couple years ago, about 4 years ago, and the women would say 100,000 pesos. That would be $25. You always divide Colombian dollars by 4. So 100,000 pesos is $25. The women discovered men would come down and they would say, the ladies would say 100. Now she's saying 100,000 pesos. The American dude, like Game Changer, would come down and think that she's saying $100. So the women stopped saying pesos and just say 100. So if the guy comes with 100,000 pesos, cool. Okay, that's the price. But if you are thinking like foreigners, you're thinking either 100 euros or $100. And now she's coming up. And then these women discovered in DR, in Medellin, and in Cartagena that we can actually get, if I can get into their Airbnb, if I can get into their hotel room, I don't even have to be intimate with these guys. All I have to do is just put on this shouting show. Like, this incident isn't rare down here. I'm going to say that again. That video was just caught on video. That is the norm for these passport pookies down here. The woman will get her way into the hotel room, and she either yells something out, kind of like the Walmart woman did. Walmart is racist. Walmart is racist. Remember the sister did that a few months ago, yelling at the top of her lungs in Walmart? Same scenario in Colombia. So it doesn't change when you're dealing with bottom feeders. So at the end of Go ahead.
It amazes me how quick brothers who are attacked by everybody attack other brothers. It is amazing. These black men are victims of a fucked up crime.
This brother said, for a man that has never used his passport and has never been.
Wait, hold on. You're confused. You're confused about that. Hold on, real quick. It was me that I said I've never used my passport. Game Changer has done a lot of traveling and has,
Game Changer is not here in Colombia at this very moment over the last.
I know. Who got the biggest
change.
Passport? Who got the biggest
He
passport?
hasn't had the change, the biggest change. That's what my point is. If I sat back and I walked into a mechanic's office and I sat in a mechanic shop and I try to act like I'm a mechanic, I'm wrong.
So basically, they can't just
Game Changer is one of those guys that don't know how to sit back and say, you know what, brother, that makes sense.
Oh no, I'm a super traveler because I do this, and they're stuck in that traveling because they are the victims of a crime.
Brother, while you're rambling, I live here. I see this on a daily basis.
Black women obviously.
Can I chime in really quick?
All right, real quick.
Whatever state you live in, Game Changer, if I start trying to tell you about your state, I will be wrong. I don't live in your state. So it is, you don't live here, so you can't tell us about what takes place here in Colombia.
And your response
once again, you don't live here. My response is this: you don't live here, so you don't know what you're talking about. Once again, you don't live here.
All right. We're gonna move it along. But what I was about to
you have
jump
no
in
receipts.
and say, hold on, real quick, Andre. What I was about to say, when you said that they do that all the time, where they just try to get in the dude room and then they start yelling and making a lot of noise and start just to basically try to hustle somebody out of money. I think that in a roundabout way helps Game Changer's point, because he was saying if this is something that they're doing to try to exploit the men, the men do need to draw a line and say, no, y'all not going to.
That goes back to what I said earlier. That goes back to what I said earlier. The line needs to be drawn before you get off the plane.
They deserve it, because it happens a lot. That doesn't make any sense.
I didn't say that at all. See, now you're putting words in my mouth.
All right.
I said that the line should have been drawn prior to getting off the plane. I agree with the Game Changer. I agree with you 100%.
Listen,
They should have drawn a line. I agree with that. I don't believe in guys being extorted. I agree with that. Notice I just said several times I agree with
Okay,
that.
all right, we got new people on the panel.
But the line should have been drawn
We got new
prior
people on the
to.
panel. Let's keep it moving real quick before I pass it down. You know, I definitely got to hear what Pablo got to say on this, but you got to go. The other brother, BA, got to go first. But shout out to Salty Balls coming through, dropping $50 on it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth. Put them in your mouth and suck them and suck them.
All right. Shout out to Salty Balls, always coming through, always coming through hard and heavy-handed with the $50 super chats. Do appreciate you. All right, go ahead, BA. You got. Oh, and shout out to Dane C. He said at this point, what is the fascination with Colombia? We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one. I want to. And he said, BR, you read the article saying 8 passport bros died. No, I didn't.
In the last 2 months.
That's wild. But go ahead, BA, you got it.
All right, what's going on, fellas? So, as in regards of the situation with the 4 brothers in the in that hotel room or whatnot, they could have definitely handled that situation a whole lot better. You know, even though she did up the price, like when we do go overseas, we do have to carry ourselves in a specific way because we don't just represent ourselves; we represent us as a collective, as American brothers. Let's keep it G, right? So even though she may have charged that one brother 100 and she moved up the price to 200, okay, I don't know his situation financially, if maybe he was hurting on some bread, and maybe he could have, reached out to the other brothers in there. Hey, can y'all pitch in like 25 to help me out and I'll pay y'all back or whatnot? I don't know his financial situation, but in order to avoid that whole situation, take the L on another $100 that way and move on. Because if I was in that situation, which we all take losses, I've been taking losses, but what do? I take the L and I bring awareness to the brothers, and hopefully they don't fall into the trap that I fell in. You feel me? So even though he did not want to take that L on that $100, but look at the exposure, the negative exposure that he has received. Now, even though let's keep it 100, even in the States, we hate getting bamboozled. We hate getting got by our own people and etc. Like no brother wants to be scammed, especially by an outsider. So, in regards of how those brothers felt, I do feel them in that way, but at the same time, we're not playing on our own turf. You feel me? We're playing on someone else's turf. So in that case, if she would have called the police, because of course, if the police come, so they probably got extorted for more money. So
police do extort. That's my understanding.
That doesn't include the Airbnb.
Hold on, real quick. So basically, when somebody says maybe I ought to take your cornbread, you just give up that cornbread.
Listen.
Okay, so hold on. So can I finish really quick though before he jump in and chime in really quick? So as far as that situation, he should have just taken that loss instead of blowing it out of proportion. Exactly, because he did not only make himself look bad, but she probably blasted him among her social media. And as people know, in the Colombian field, all brothers go take that L because they're not gonna look at, oh well, he just took the L on that, and brothers are cheap. They're gonna be like, well, all Black American brothers are cheap that look like these brothers. So that's first and foremost.
All right. Hold on.
I think it's
hold on. Wait, time out.
Hold on. Wait, I just want to make another point. Then you can chime in. Go ahead, brother.
No, I thought you was done. You sound like you was done. That was a long pause or something. But real quick, because I do got to go to Pablo. I do want to see if anybody know what happened when the police got there. And I just
nothing.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear. And I lean more, just real quick, since I got the mic real quick. I lean more on the don't, and it's probably just because I'm a punk. I am very fearful of being in a foreign jail. That is one of my biggest fears. So that's why I'm putting the $50, the extra 50 on the table and getting her the hell out of there. I don't want to be in no foreign jail.
Right.
So that's I admit I'm a punk when it comes to that. So that's I agree with what Master Falcon said. I'm not creating a scene overseas.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with it.
Okay,
I'm a
Bernard,
punk.
Bernard, I get that you're a
admit
punk.
that.
Okay, right quick, Bernard, I get that you're a punk.
Come on.
I'm not going to fault other brothers for not being punks.
All right,
I'm not
fair
going to
enough.
call
All
them
right, go ahead.
pussies for
All
not
right, we
being
gotta
punks.
go to
just make
BA.
my-
We gotta finish up BA, then we going right to Pablo. Nobody even responds.
All right, for sure. So the second point that I want to make that, I think one of the fellows on the panel had mentioned, if there's, I would say OG passport brothers that's been in countries longer than others, then they utilize that and they kind of feel like they may be the Negro Damas, of the overseas game. I would say, I'm not throwing any shots at anybody, but I'm just saying I do kind of feel that way. But just humble yourself. Like, okay, I used to stay in Mexico, and of course, I'm AKA Negrito Grande. But even though you may see my stats or etc., I'm not gonna be like, well, this is all the information you need. You need to get it from me or X, Y, and Z. Well, since you only been in the DR and Cabarete for 2 weeks, your experiences don't count. Like, humble yourself. You feel me? So I was just
about Mexico.
All right, hold on, wait, hold
what
on.
was that?
Could I reach out to you about Mexico?
Pablo.
All right.
If you feel, no problem.
Hold on, wait, y'all talking in the private chat,
right?
Y'all type in the private
Right.
chat.
That's
Work
what my
out,
point is.
Hold on, wait, real quick. Y'all talking in the private chat if y'all talking about reaching out to each other.
No,
and
I was
everything.
just setting an example. Bernard,
You was making a point.
In regards to, I was making
Oh.
a point of, when my first time I went to Mexico, I reached out to brothers like him because I want to glean off of his knowledge. So it.
Oh, okay, understand.
When guys come to Colombia, there are a bunch of us here that they could glean off of our knowledge.
Got you. All right, Pablo. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience.
Man.
You got the mic.
Yeah, Negrito Grande, man. I remember you. I remember your channel. I used to follow you. I don't know what happened. Maybe I fell off the subscriber list.
I
I
took a
would
break.
definitely look back up your channel, man. Good to see you, and good to see you again.
Appreciate it. Likewise.
So rather than talk about this incident, I'm going to use my own incident with a friend of mine on my very first trip to Medellin back in 2017. This is before any of the scope and all of this kind of stuff. Medellin was amazing. Okay. So I went on a trip with 2 friends. One of them I went to high school with, and his friend that he had from college. All right. We go down to Medellin. We're enjoying ourselves. We're in Poblado. We're staying in a high-rise condo. We meet me and one of the friends, not my high school buddy, but his buddy. We'll call him Adrian. Me and Adrian go out to Parque Yeras. We're walking the park. We're drinking, having a good time. And we run into about 2 Afro-Colombianas in Parque Yeras. He chats them up. I translate a little bit because I'm the only one who speaks Spanish. And he invites them back to the condo. He knows that my friend, we'll call him Ronald. He knows my friend Ronald likes these little thick Afro-Colombianas. So he takes the other one back to meet Ronald. They go back to the condo. I stay in Parque Yeras and kick it. I go back to the condo later, go to sleep, wake up in the morning. The girls are still there. They're preparing themselves to leave. I believe they leave. I chill for a few hours, and then I go out for lunch back to Parque Yeras. I'm sitting at a restaurant bar, having lunch and a beer. Mind you, my 2 friends, Adrian and Ronald, are still back in the condo. The girls call back. They call back to the guys and say, "Hey, we want to come back." They say, "Yeah, come on back." They come back. Apparently, they engage in some adult activities again. And my friend Ronald doesn't want to pay for round 2.
Oh.
He thinks it's on the house. He thinks because they said we want to come back that, you know, they enjoyed this experience so much that, you know, it was a freebie. It was not a freebie. She wanted her bread. A few moments later, while I'm sitting at the restaurant bar in Parque Lleras, I get a phone call from the manager of the Airbnb. Oh, mi amigo, your amigos, tu amigos is un poco problema. La mujeres necesita más dinero. Your friend is in trouble. The girls want some more money. Right? They don't want to pay. I said, I'll be right there. I get in the cab. I go back. The girls are downstairs at the, they have like a security desk. The girls are there at the security desk with the security guard, and they're saying basically they want some more money, or, well, only my friend Ronald slept with a girl. The other guy, he didn't do anything. He was just chilling. You know, the girl just came back and sat around or whatever. Ronald engaged in this activity with this lady and didn't want to pay her. Right? So she tells me either he give me my money or I'm calling the homies from the barrio or the police.
Damn.
None of which, this being my first time in Colombia, I want to hear. So I hustle my ass back up to the 12th, 13th floor, whichever floor we were on, and I tell him, dude, you got one choice. Pay her. I don't care how you pay her. I don't care how y'all figure it out between the two of you, but y'all need to pay her. Come to find out, my friend Ronald came to South America with $200 in his pocket.
Oh,
who
Lord.
used to be my friend and is no longer my friend because of this. We no longer speak. So the guy, his other buddy, Adrian, right? He works for the federal government. Like you know, the people that found bin Laden, the what's that agency called? The not the CIA, but it's another one that just deal with like cyber security and stuff for the US government. He works for them. So he makes a nice big bit of coin. He paid his bill. He paid Ronald's bill with the girls, and the girls left. Mistake number 1. Pay first.
Somebody got feedback.
I think that might be. Man, yeah, he muted. He muted. I think that was
Keeping it above. The mistake number 1. Pay first. If you're paying for play, negotiate the price. Pay first. Then have your fun. That way, the girl don't feel cheated. She got what she came for. She happy. She gone. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, if there is a discrepancy, oh well, you chalk it up to the game. You just gonna have to, you know, ante up what it is. Right? Mistake number 3, turn off the video. Turn off the video. Everything don't need to be seen in the light of day. I'm not a choir boy. I don't claim to be. I enjoy myself abroad in all different kind of ways. But I don't document it. It ain't for the public consumption. Right or wrong, no matter what goes down. The only time you'll see me on a video is if I'm in a nice restaurant or I'm in Super Bowling or I'm, you know, out on the beach or something like that. You're never gonna see me in no condos with no chicks you know, getting into it.
Well, hold on real quick. Over here, people in a situation recorded just so they got evidence if the police get involved. Did that shit even matter over there? The police come.
Listen,
and you got, hey,
first of all,
happened. You know,
it's legal. here's the deal. Prostitution is legal. In that incident, when the police came, you know what happened? Nothing. They said, "Oh, it's a civil matter." But they didn't even shake them down for money. They just told them it's a civil matter between the two of you.
So hold on, wait. Just let me make this very clear. Okay, so you can be in a situation with a chick over there. Get that the prostitution is legal, but the police show up at the door, and I'm pretty sure that woman, in a very dramatic way, explained that she got belly to back suplexed out of a hotel room. They not even looking at that like, you know, you just belly to back suplex one of the women here.
Well, here's the thing. For all of that physical, where they put themselves in danger is when they had all that physical contact, grabbing her, throwing her out, smacking the phone out of her hand. That's the danger zone.
Yeah.
That's the danger zone. That's when you really need that's when it could have gone left. It could have gone left.
You don't know who she got waiting downstairs.
That's good.
Right.
That's good that the cops didn't do anything and they didn't have to pay an extra $50. Now it's on them to sue her for the cost of the table.
What?
I don't.
What country you think you in? What country does he think he's talking about? Hey, Pablo. What country does this dude think he's talking about?
That's a game changer. You know that ain't gonna work.
Nah, I know.
It don't matter.
It sue her for a table.
It don't
I
matter.
love you, game changer. I love you, brother.
Yeah, but
it ain't the same legal recourse. Like if they pay for that room, if something got broken in that room, it don't matter who did it, they got to pay for that.
I understand. Still sue the bitch.
I don't even know. Okay,
make her life miserable. Make her know that the next time she pull this shit, that life is going to be difficult.
Yeah. But I agree with Negrito Grande in that you're not on the home turf, so it's not.
Thank you.
It's not the same. It's really not.
I understand that.
Nowhere near.
Yeah, I can't. Fantastic. You keep getting dropped down, up. I mean, like you was up, then you down. I don't know I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully you good. But hold on real quick. Shout out to Salty Boss. He says there've been some T-balls and T-nuts imposters. If you're feeling fishy about who they are, make them pay a tribute or block they ass. No, if there's an imposter, if there's somebody being an imposter posing as Salty Balls, you could block. You can we block imposters over here. But if they just got a similar name, then you know they good, because I know a lot of people biting your swag. If it's just similar, we gonna let them rock. But if they trying to be a full blown imposter, I block them. But all right, thank you for putting 5 on it. Thank you for putting 5 on it.
So
right.
I do want to point out that she did take an L. She didn't get the $50, and now her face is on the do not fuck list. For anybody who sees that particular video and stuff like that. So she's walking home with a used vagina at market price. I think that she took the ultimate L, and the moral of the story is stop fucking with people.
I get you, GC, but I ain't got it in me to be on some Steven Seagal out for justice in a foreign country. Fuck all that. I want the problem.
No, I get it. What I'm saying is they are. So let's show some appreciation for the people with the courage to stand up.
She's making money even as we speak, bro.
Yeah,
even as we speak, she's making money. I promise you that.
I don't care.
Game changer. It doesn't work like that down here. She's making money
too.
Bro,
you want to get her out? You want to get her out?
No. Everybody who's talking about hold the L, they did not get an L. She did.
No, they came out on top. They did.
They came out on top twice. Yeah. All right. But anyway,
Bernard,
I
want to make a quick point before the new brother on the pen. I can't really see him, but I think one thing we have to realize is that if we're over, let's say 35, we're in a whole different dating space than these dudes now. Like these dudes now, have you watched TikTok? It's straight up. How much money do you have? Like, if you're a 22-year-old dude right now and you're not making 6 figures, you're dusty. Like, these dudes are coming from a whole different, paradigm. So if you grow up and your idea of dating is tricking in America, then you're gonna go overseas and carry that because you got Shira 7, you got like what can you they're on a whole different paradigm. And so it's halfway between I'm gonna be like alpha male dude and tricking is the way that it works.
A lot of that is a lot of that is online conjecture. I mean, there is a middle ground in human interaction outside of the exaggerations of online, where it's either you're dealing with some Shira 7 shit or you passport tricking, or it's middle ground in there. But I mean, I do. It's this chick that just basically try to school American women on how to.
Oh, she's the one that invented get the bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying that if you're a 21-year-old dude, like no girl is walking up to you saying like, "Oh, I loved you the first time I saw you. Let's hold hands and date." Like they're dealing with how much money do you make? What can you do for me? Pay something for me. And so if that's your mindset as a 22, 23, 25-year-old, you're going to carry that overseas. That's all I'm saying. Like I think we should, from our point of view as over 35, over 40, we're like, oh no, you shouldn't do that, young man. But these dudes are playing a different game than we were playing in the 90s, dude. Like they've been getting that message, like, what can you buy from me? Give me something, what you owe me. That's been the game for like 20 years. So these guys are probably indoctrinated with that going overseas. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just, that's just what it is, man. Like that's their norm.
Can I get one thing in real quick? Real quick. Here's a tip. I can get any Colombiana out of your apartment. You want to know how? Here it is. Oh, you need some more money? I gotta go to the ATM. Come on, follow me. We'll go to the ATM. I'll get you your bread. Boom, she's out. She's out.
That's some quick thinking on your feet right there. We got to go to Royce. We got to go to Royce J. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back. I ain't talk to you in a minute. What's up, man? Oh shit, your mic low. Fix your mic.
Tell them you can go into the settings and turn up your microphone.
Fix your mic. All right. Yeah, no, we can't hear you. Just keep working on it. We'll let you know when we can hear you. But shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. How did y'all find out the end result of that story and how nothing happened with when the police came? Was it like a full video where you could see the police leaving? Because the only thing I saw was this shorter version of the video. Like, how did y'all find out that they was good with the police? Anybody?
Well, I was just going off of what they were saying. So, if that's true, then they didn't take an L and they stood up for themselves, which I'm not going to call a man Pookie for standing up for himself. I'm not going to call a man broke for I'm not going to down a man in any way, shape, or form for not just bending over and giving up his cornbread. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, what kind of men does that? Shame men for sticking up for themselves? What kind of crap is that? I mean, George McFly stood up to Biff. I mean, somebody said, "Oh no, you should have just let it happen." Like,
well, let me give you a little bit of pushback though, because in certain countries you don't know what kind of person you're dealing with, and we all know that a lot of brothers been getting whacked. Hold on, wait, my good brother. So we know that a lot of brothers that's been going to Colombia getting whacked, right? And I don't know his name, but he had a little a gold chain on, right? Now we're all pretty sure that his life was worth way more than that little itty bitty gold chain, right? So he should have just gave up the chain. Yes, I understand, coming from, the us as brothers from the States that, we have to have integrity. We can't be bullied. We got to stand on our integrity. But guess what? We on somebody else's turf. You feel me? So when you hold on, wait, my brother. So if you are on different turf, you got to play by certain rules because your rules don't apply to one's turf. You feel me? Like, so I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from California, Northern California. So okay, for sure. So you dig what I'm saying? So if you go to Oakland, then if you go to Frisco, you feel me? They got different rules to the game and how you play on the turf. So, you may bring your mindset to one's turf, but you may get got. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. If you go overseas, we are playing on a whole different ball game. We're playing a whole different ball game. So I know you're trying to stand on integrity with the whole, don't take my cornbread metaphor, but that shouldn't apply overseas, because if you want to play that game, what do people say? If you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. And obviously, I don't want to take that prize. So guess what? I am going to not do play that stupid game. That's all.
Okay, so what I'm saying is,
let's get a mic check on Royce. Royce, give us a mic check. Nope, you're still low. You gotta tweak something. It's like we can hear it very faintly, so you gotta tweak something in your settings. It's like your mic not on. It's almost like your mic not on. It's like we picking up like your computer speakers or something, or like StreamYard feedback. That's probably what it is. Probably YouTube feedback. But all right, but keep working on that. Just keep doing the test, and we'll let you know if we hear it. But go ahead, whoever was trying to. Whoever wanted to jump in there.
So I mean, is it the Passport Bros stance that you should understand that other countries are going to rob you, so you should go there knowingly, knowing that you're going to get robbed?
Game changer. There are 180.
I mean, that's stereotypical. That's not a rule, though.
The stereotype now is that Passport Bros will allow themselves to get robbed.
That's not the stereotype.
Allow themselves.
What?
That's a stupid ass argument. Hold on, let me just give them some pushback on that too. Because if hold on, wait, my brother.
So hold on,
brother. Listen, just hold on. One point.
Go to San Francisco, since you want to bring the Bay Area into it. If I go to San Francisco and San Francisco say, "Hey, the rules is when Oakland niggas come here, we get to rob them." Like, and
nobody said that.
And I don't.
Right, exactly, bro.
You have a bad habit of putting words in people's mouths.
That is a terrible metaphor, bro.
And I noticed that you like to put words in people's mouths that they never said or they never alluded to.
Conclusions.
No, you came. Okay, I can agree with that.
But based on your generalizations, though.
No, based on what you said. Basically, the conclusion of what you said is when you go to certain countries, they're going to take money from you.
No one said that.
No one said that, bro.
I mentioned this earlier. 3.5 million people go to that
about a situation where money was taken or attempted to be taken. You just said that is the rules of the country. That's how they get down.
Yeah.
They take your shit.
Which country?
Good, Royce.
Which country?
No, it's a possibility that you can get got, but it's not 100% though. You just gotta be aware of your surroundings.
Absolutely.
I think the best way we're gonna pass it to Royce. I think the best way to land the plane on this, that if you go to a foreign country and you go to the wrong place and get entangled with the wrong person, then in that particular situation where you clearly, made a few missteps or miscalculations and ended up in a situation, hold the L and get out of there.
Facts.
If that's what y'all are saying,
it's not worth your life.
If that's what y'all are saying, I completely understand that.
Don't try to hold frame. Not then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
If you hold your cornbread, you go get whacked and some. You'll get whacked and your cornbread go be taken.
Yeah, well,
that's a double whammy.
Yeah, but they didn't get any whammies except her breaking the fucking table.
Yeah, but it's also hold on, wait, real quick before we go to Royce J. It's also worth pointing out, if you move right and make the right steps down there, you won't end up you drastically decrease the probability that you will end up in a situation like that. So it's like that's not the experience going on. As far as I understand, that's not the experience. If you go overseas and you generally do the right thing in the right places, you won't end up in that situation.
They did the right thing. They paid the right price that they agreed upon for a service.
All right, okay, all right. So let me. Damn it, I want to go to Royce. I'm going to ask BA and Andre and El Pablo. I almost forgot Pablo was down there. I gotta ask y'all a question about what did they do in the lead? What did they do wrong in the lead up to that whole situation? Because or did they do something very normal and then some crazy shit happened, or was it mistakes in the lead up? We'll pick that. We'll tease that one out. I think that's the crux of where y'all got the disagreement with Game Changer. But go ahead, Royce. What you got? Thank you for your patience. And well, no, we had to wait for your mic. I want to talk about thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. First of all, thanks for having me up here, Bernard. Salute to everybody on the panel. These are guys that I've been on panels with before, I think, with the exception of Grande, but you know, all stars in the passport and travel game. Both Pablo and Andre they brought up some very good points about how to move overseas and do things. And before I go any further, just to let everybody know, like I let people know on my channel, although I'm not a passport bro per se, I am passport adjacent because, you know, I got family overseas and I travel a lot to see family, relatives. And while I was in the military, I traveled for work. So, you know, I do have a lot of travel in my own right, but not necessarily the passport bro lifestyle per se. That being said, now that I got that out the way, I think what really hasn't been really emphasized in this whole conversation is that passport bros are different than blexpats. And I don't think that nuance has been really brought up like it should be. There are blexpats, which are Black
expats,
Americans that go overseas.
Yeah, he's right about that.
And I know Andre touched on it briefly, but there are Black Americans that go overseas for sexual experiences, which is fine. But those are not passport bros. You know, though they're simply traveling to meet women and have sex, and that's fine. That being said, a passport bro is a lifestyle where you look at what Pablo does, you look at what Andre does, you look at what Grande did. They actually went overseas to establish a base of operations to where they got involved with the culture, they got involved with the locals, they got involved with the economy, and they stayed over there for a while. That makes a passport bro different than somebody that takes a weekend trip or a 2-week trip to go over and to smash women.
I think y'all doing some redefining. I think y'all doing some redefining.
Andre and I don't just have relationships with women. I have Colombian friends.
Right. Yeah. That's what makes you a passport bro. People that are just traveling just for sex, those I call them blexpats, and I've been calling them blexpats for years. I've seen people in those circles and stuff. There's a couple of very popular blexpats on TV that we haven't mentioned. But the thing is that there has to be that line drawn in the sand as well. And, you know, getting back to what these guys didn't.
Quick question, brother, before you continue. Yeah, quick. So what do you call people that sign up for eharmony.com? Just curious.
Digital
because
daters.
You clearly stated. What was that?
Digital daters.
Jiggle data. What is that? I'm not familiar with the term. Oh, digital daters.
Yeah.
Okay. So how come they're not getting any pushback though? Just curious.
I don't know, and I don't have an issue with how anybody does anything, but
you have an issue with passport bros though.
No,
just
I
going
don't.
for sex with the women.
I don't have an issue with passport bros. All I'm saying is that there is a difference between a passport bro and a blexpat, and I think that has to be called out. Either one is negative.
So what's the difference?
The difference is that a blexpat is going overseas primarily for sexual and dating experiences. They don't have they don't go overseas with the goal to let me move over here and start businesses or work over here. Let me they're not saying let me get involved with the culture and the people and learn the language so forth and so on. They're there for a good time, not a long time.
They're on vacation.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so damn. But
No, he's not.
Okay.
I don't think he's saying anything is wrong. I think he's just saying.
No, I'm not saying anything is wrong. I've got no issue with it. It's you as grown people are going to do what they want to do. The thing is that in order to make a line of separation, we've got to call people who they're just going to places to have fun, have sex, date. Those are sex pats, and if you're black, you're a black pat. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
So how do you define passport bros then?
A passport bro is going to live. He said it. A passport bro is setting up their base of operations in another country. They're going to learn the language. They're going to learn the customs to embed themselves into the country, into the economy, into the local population as a way to live there, either on a permanent or semi-permanent basis. They're not just going to visit and do what they do while they visit and then leave. Like this.
So is it possible to be a hybrid?
Yeah.
Of course.
I want to make a point right quick. I don't know my brother with the that fly green shirt on. I want to say your name right.
BA.
Yeah, I just noticed. Hold on, man. I got to make you smaller. You got your shit buttoned up all the way to your damn belly button, nigga. Like you don't come on my shit. You don't have it buttoned down to the belly button. Let me hide you down there. Now, button your shirt up now.
My fault. It's just hot as hell out here. That's all, bro. It's just what it is.
The point I want to make is we can do all the distinctions that we want to. When I talk about stuff on my channel, what I really think is important, especially for black men, just go see the rest of the world. I saw a post on CBS Sports, right? They said the Super Bowl was the most watched so and such ever. And it said like Pat Mahomes, blah, 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 150 million people. 1.5 billion people watched the World Cup final. Like you had like 700 million people that watched the the Africa Cup of Nations finals, right? Like, just go see the world. Like, maybe you might trick, maybe you might travel, whatever. Just go see the world. Expand your horizons. Like, the world's bigger than Detroit. It's bigger than Houston, man. It's bigger. Just go overseas. Maybe your first chance of tasting overseas is going to, the DR or going to Colombia. And then you go to Colombia and you say, oh, maybe I'll go to Brazil. And then you go to Brazil and say, well, maybe I'll go to Argentina. Just go look. It's like going to a mall and walking into a store that you never walked into before, except it's a whole different country. And
let me just mention something really quick though. But there are a lot of brothers that are very content with the specific country. For example, the Andre, he loves Colombia. So there are a lot of brothers that are very.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't love Colombia? Okay, but you've been out there for a cool minute, though, right?
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like I said, the pillars. The third pillar of a passport, bro, is countries, plural. I have access.
I was just making a quick example, though. I wasn't trying to.
People have no offense, brother, but people have a tendency of selling that narrative that because I have my one citizenship in the States, now I'm have another one in another country. That doesn't mean that we're not already putting plans behind the scenes to go to our third country. My goal is to have at least 3 passports under my umbrella before I pass on to the next generation. So when people sit back and make the narrative of, they think that if they see a black expat in another country for a while, they assume, just like they would assume that you love Mexico. And you're like, wait a minute, I love other countries too, or I enjoy other countries too. So do realize, guys, let's not sell a narrative on each other that we are, just because we build a bat cave in one location, that we don't love all of Gotham City. In other words, all the other areas that we could travel to.
All right, so let me just
go ahead. I want to throw it to Pablo, because when Royce was putting out the definition, when he's saying what is or what isn't a passport, bro, Pablo, you the one who I've heard talking about Passport Bros. I be forgetting the Marvel origin story of Passport Bros, the name of it, but I think you are at ground zero of the concept and the name and all of that being created. Do you agree with Royce's definition where he said who is one and who isn't one?
You talking to me?
Yeah, talking to Pablo.
Oh, Passport Bros was created by King Sigma. And he created it originally to describe American black men who were traveling abroad for long-term relationships, economic freedom, and what else? Culture. So there's no quote unquote wrong answer per se, other than the sex part. I think that might be. I have to go read. He actually wrote the definition on his channel. Let me go pull it up and read it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that because.
But a lot of people have redefined what Passport Bros mean to their own.
I think that's
definition.
what I'm hearing right now, because this is the first time I'm hearing that somebody who just, as much as they can. I mean, if you live in the States, okay, if you're lucky if you get 3 weeks vacation, okay. So if you spend 3 weeks out the year in another country and you're going over there to just, vacation party, have a good time, get some pussy, paid or unpaid, paid for it or not, I didn't. It's a foreign concept to me for somebody to say that ain't really a passport, bro, because that was most of what I heard people talking about. And yes, the whole idea of going overseas just to trick, that sound bad, and you want to separate yourself from that. But the fact of the matter is, we're talking about bros with a passport going on vacation, and they engage in the online community of that whole lifestyle and everything. It's like, to define that as not a passport bro, it's damn near nobody's a passport bro. If you got to live over there to be a passport bro,
you're correct. You said it just. I like how you worded that. Damn near nobody's a passport bro, meaning that among men that travel with passports, passport bro is a small pool. First of all, guys have to realize Passport Bro is a network of guys taking advantage of a network. It's not an organization. We don't have bylaws. We don't have presidents and vice presidents. We don't have membership roles. It started as men networking with men. So just like my brother, I've just mentioned, I said, when I decided to go to Mexico, and my wife, we didn't just say, well, let's just go to Mexico. We realized that there were brothers in Mexico like him. So we network with them. We paid for consultations. We made sure that we support the YouTube channels that were talking about videos in Mexico. So they were able, brothers like my brother were able to make my wife and I visit to Mexico a lot better. Why? Because we use the network of brothers. Passport Bro is a network, first of all. It's not a group. It's a network of brothers. For those that don't take advantage of a network, or the network known as the Passport Bro, it's this Passport Bro can be this pinky finger to the whole hand of brothers that are traveling across the country, across the world. Just because you are of hue and have a passport doesn't make you a passport bro. You are absolutely correct. Dang near everybody is not a passport bro. In other words, let me end it with this. Not everybody is taking advantage of the network of brothers that are truly sharing positive information in each one of the countries we go to. When we went to Europe just recently, we reached out to the passport bros that are in Europe. It made our trip in Europe so much easier. I could get to Barcelona from Madrid, and then I didn't even know, except for during the passport bro told me, hey, you can take a train for 2 hours, you can end up in Paris. What? I learned that through the passport bros in Europe. The network helped me out. So for those that don't take advantage of the network, those I'm just using the term may, be just brothers with a passport. So it is a smaller pool than most people think.
Bernard, the definition seems to change and vary from person to person. And
I noticed
it's ambiguous.
Yeah, exactly. Which means that there is
actually my definition was based off of the same definition that Pablo gave.
let's unambiguous it. Let's unambiguous it and give it to the man who created the hashtag.
All right, we're gonna play the video of this is from King. This is from King Sigma, right, Pablo?
Yes,
the video. All right,
Yes.
this is from King Sigma, the guy who created the name and the hashtag and the whole thing. All right, here we go.
Seeking financial.
Hold on.
Bro.
Let me go. All right, here we go.
Hashtag Passport Bros refers to American Black men seeking financial, cultural, social, and sexual opportunities or options outside of the United States of America, or generally outside of Western nations. Passport Bros have zero or nearly zero interest in establishing relationships with American women specifically and Western women generally. The historical fact is that hashtag Passport Bros arose out of the American Black man's own modern reality, discussions, and social media networking through content creation. Hashtag Passport Bros was pushed through the social algorithm to encourage American Black men to seek opportunities outside of the United States, or generally the Western nations. The question that I get most often in emails is, can white men or other non-Black men be passport bros? But I believe a better approach to it is to rephrase the question as, do white men need to call themselves passport bros when they have the hashtag I'm white? Is anything gained by white men calling themselves passport bros? My position is no. The white men and other non-Black men don't need to call themselves passport bros to be treated as equal citizens by the majority of people in the West. It is the American Black man whose political and human rights are constantly questioned. It is the American Black man whose aspirations to be accepted on the basis of the content of his character that is in question. Back in November 2020, the Brookings Institute published a very important paper called The Challenges Facing Black Men and the Case for Action. Here is a quote taken directly from that article. To be male, poor, and Black is to confront on a daily basis a deeply held racism that exists in every social institution. No other demographic group has fared as badly, so persistently, and for so long. To meet this appalling crisis, the Brookings...
All right, right now, Pablo, like he kind of like segueing out of the definition, you know, what we came here for, more or less. But so I don't know. I mean, is it more to it where he gets more into the definition? He's just giving like the history of Black men and Black America and how the reality of being a Black man in America leads you to be a passport bro. But he already defined exactly what it was in the beginning, and in his beginning definition, I do believe it included guys. Guys who going over there.
So we're gonna take it out of the context of what he put in, huh? So we're just gonna put the sex at the top again.
Yeah. Oh no.
First of all, he said cost of living.
I'm not trying to
cost of living.
Hold on, real quick.
Then he said countries. Then he said cultures, and then he said sex last. So let's put it in the context of what he said.
Brother. I'm not trying to make it seem like the sex was the only thing that he said. I was only responding to what somebody said when they said that's excluded. Just if you're on going on vacation regularly over there for relationship or sexual opportunities or this or that or blah blah blah, however that was put, where I think Roy said that don't count. He just said it did count. It's a part of the umbrella. I think your point is that that's not the only part of the umbrella, and for good reason you promote the other parts. So
based off the definition, the original definition, I and other men quietly off camera live the original definition, what the brother just said, cost of living, cultures, countries, and also there are women, of course, you know, you want a woman in your life. And I'm not just talking about pay for play. I'm talking about all the millions of good women that are around the world to enjoy in your life as well. Yes, women are part of that pillar as well. But
yeah, women. I was just about to say, women are a part of that cost of living thing because it could. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah. I agree with you 100%.
Let me play Let me play that definition again, so make sure we ain't getting lost in everything else that was said. Even though I'm sure it was a good video. Trey made some good points. I just want to focus on this part right here. Hold on.
Hashtag Passport Bros refers to American black men
I don't know if y'all can hear
seeking
that.
financial, cultural, social, and sexual opportunities or options outside of the United States of America, or generally.
I was trying to put it back on the screen, so I missed
passport.
Here we go. I'm sorry.
Hashtag Passport Bros refers to American black men seeking financial, cultural, social, and sexual opportunities or options outside of the United States of America, or generally outside of Western nations.
All right. That's a solid definition, and I do think that it's pretty all encompassing. But I understand where Andre is coming from.
Right.
He don't want the pay for play to be on the marquee. That need to be, you know, something that, yeah, if you do that, do it safe, be careful. But we don't need that on the marquee. If that's what you're saying, I'm with you 100%. But a lot of people have put that on the marquee.
I agree with that. I agree with that. People have put that narrative out there, and that's why you have the existence of brothers and myself, Pablo, and others that are, you know, showcasing that brothers. There are those of us that are out here because it's easy for guys like. Let me shut up in a second. It's easy for guys like Pablo and I and all the passport sisters that are positive, living in other countries, living in Portugal. We just had a bunch of sisters at the Super Bowl party with us that you never hear about. That the passport bros and the passport sisters get along. You're not supposed to hear about us. We live our lives off camera quietly. But when we sit back and we hear this narrative of it's just only guys going on, we're like, wait a minute. And for about good 6 years, not 6 years, about good 6 months, we sat back and said nothing. We let y'all go after the Austin Hollemans and y'all, no problem. The news headlines went up. We're like, guys, that's really not a passport, bro. So those of us who live lives off of the definition of what this brother just gave, we are out here showcasing now on YouTube. Listen, brothers, there's also cost of living involved. You can also do some amazing things. I'll give you a perfect example, then I'll be quiet. I live in, like I mentioned before, I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I live in the upper class suburbs, right across from the mall, the grocery store, the hospitals, all that I need. I've got security downstairs. I've got for our SUV, we've got the parking garage. We've got the island stove. I live right next door to a lemon tree park. Only pay $380 a month. During the pandemic, because the cost of the US dollar went up, I'll end up paying only $280 a month to live in the suburbs. You will not live in the suburbs of any country in the West for $280 a month. Now, if you're a person, give an example, if you're making $5,000 or $10,000 a month and your bills are only less than $1,000 a month, now you can buy a business. Now you can buy real estate back home in the States without problem. And you can also buy real estate or start a business in several different countries. These are the cost of living things that nobody wants to talk about. They just want to showcase video after video after video. Look what passport women dudes did with the women. But it's far more than that that's off camera. A lot of us are talking about. There are thousands of passport bros such as Theo Wap that are actually doing class teaching IT and cybersecurity.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Theo. Yeah, no, I rock with Theo.
And yet guys never talk about that. They'll talk about the ladies and what happened with the ladies,
Let
but they
me
never talk about things like that. Go
But
ahead,
real quick, hold on. Shout out to Blade Runner. He said there clearly needs to be a defining line and categories everyone is not doing, seeing, and participating in the same things. That we were addressing that right now as you speak. Shout out to Tevin King says shout out to Andre and Andrea from Love Crossing Borders and the other members on the panel. Salute and shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the stream. Shout out to Blade Runner 27. He says there clearly needs to be a defining line and categories. Everyone, I think I already read that. Everyone is not doing the same thing, participating in the same things. Already read that one. And shout out to Mike and Vince Perkins. Now he says, all right, here we go now. He said Andre's elitist attitude and distinctions distract from the main point of black male choice and advocacy. Now, I don't think, hold on, Rod, let me just say this to what he said. I'm not going to go with the elitist thing. I disagree with that part, but I think there is a fair point to be made there about distinctions that distract from the main point of black male choice and advocacy. I do think there's a there with that part of what he said. And I think that was the last
quick?
super chat. Go ahead, BA. Even though we got
all right, I'm just be very transparent about this. Even though us among the black community, we can give 1 million plus labels to each other in subgroups and subcategories, right, among brothers. But when we go abroad and how we're looked at to the locals, we're just niggas. So I mean, they look at us as that, as black folks from the States. So I would just say this whole branding about different labels, and some people may take it as marketing and etc. But at the end of the day, like, okay, the whole Austin Holloman situation, I still rock with his situation. He kept it 100 on that. But I'll also see the sides of, Andre and the content that he's putting out also. But I would just say the reason why, that type of content is not being exposed as much and going viral is because we know hot, sexy ass women always get more views. Let's keep it 1,000 with it. You feel me? So it's like, of course, even I myself, and I get it. You can put out content talking about finding condos, good restaurants. Niggas don't want to hear that boring ass shit. All due respect, but boy, hold on. All due respect, the videos that are not disrespectful, but that actually have women in those video having breakdown conversations and etc. Showing off the beauty. People are going to flock to those. Let's just keep it real. Now, even though there are educational and informative videos like Andre videos, that's completely 100% dope. But the market is the women. Now, me, when I went to Mexico, yes, I had my girl's family is from Oaxaca, but her family stayed in Tijuana. So honestly, that's how I ended up in Mexico, because we would normally take trips every weekend to Tijuana because it's right on the San Diego border of San Isidro. So that's how I ended up there. But after we had a little split, man, I was going many. The women treated your boy very well. I'm not gonna go into details, but that was my focus in Mexico after the split. Now, even though once you're there for a certain period of time, you will end up adapting to the language, to the food by immersion. So that you'll get that later, but the initial motive and what will drive men is the beauty, the sexiness, and brothers are feared of just coming out and saying that because they constantly have people bullying them about, you better not be talking about women. You better not make women your top priority. Fuck that shit. I got a Brazilian girl. I told her straight up. We always have these conversations. Like, listen, she asked me herself, well, what was your intention? Shit, I came for the beauty of the women, like yourself. She just laughed about it. Why not put the women first without people trying to bully you about it? Oh, I just want to learn about the culture. I want to go to the museums. Get up out of here with that. Go ahead.
Pablo had a. Pablo requested to say something in the back, and I think he got something good to say based off what I just read in the private chat. But go ahead, Pablo.
In Andre's defense, Andre came in YouTube on the financial side of things, And so that's the lens through which he views it. I don't think he's saying men don't like beautiful women. Obviously he does. He has one. But I think a lot of what's driving this, America doesn't believe Black American men can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Bingo. Bingo.
They don't believe you can go down, do your pay for play, party, have a good time. Also, maybe another trip, meet an actual nice woman. Also, another trip, actually maybe do business. They think either you're a monger or you're like Andre. There is no in between. You're not a whole.
Call it a hybrid.
Right. You're either a monger or a saint. You're nothing in between. And I don't think any one of us on this panel has been either a full-fledged, blown-out monger or a saint. I don't believe that. And that is, and I think that is the fundamental problem that Black men experience in the United States as it relates to media. And I think the reason Andre does what he does is because he came in on doing financial news and that kind of content.
All right,
go ahead. And I salute him for that.
I want to say I agree with the brother with the shirt on, the brother from the Bay Area. So, salute to you. I definitely agree with you. There is a certain shame that society puts on Black men for desiring beautiful women. And that's in the States or without, I mean.
And making it a priority. You can't leave that out. Making beautiful women a priority, first priority.
Exactly. We receive shame for that in the States, a fat woman to be like, oh, you like them skinny bitches. Like, or you like the tentacles, or say, bitch, I like what I like.
Your mama Black.
Yeah, exactly. So, don't dictate what my dick takes, honestly. Like, if you like beautiful women and you're willing to fly the extra mile to get it, then there's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be shame involved with that. I do feel, and this is quite unfortunate, that Black men are now shaming other Black men for, doing these things.
Big facts. Talk to them.
That's where it's becoming problematic. And that's why, if it seems like I was overprotective about the brothers in this situation, is because I know like this could definitely lead to a case of Black men shaming Black men, for
you got a whole bunch of the mama's boys in the chat right now, calling everybody tricks and stuff. I've never dated overseas. All the traveling I've done is either be to see family or with family. I don't date, don't have sex overseas. I travel.
But if you do, shout out to Bobby Brown. That is your prerogative.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you want to do that, then if you want to go to Japan and have a chick dress up like Sailor Moon and while you do your thing, that is your prerogative.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the thing that
but what I'm saying, well, let me finish. What I'm saying is we're our hardest critics. We're the ones who are quickest to say, oh, that nigga did this, he deserved it. He's a passport pookie. He's not a passport bro. We're quick to just other a dude, shit on him as much as possible, and then distinguish yourself from him. Like,
well, okay, that's
that crabs in the barrel mentality.
That's because so many are so quick to put a dude that have a problematic moment into the passport bro movement.
I appreciate your inputs, but can I finish? So as I was saying, in order to, if you're really going to, be a brother of any type, we need to practice a stronger sense of brotherhood, not giving other brothers the same shame that society gives them all the time for doing what's natural to men, or, oh, he's doing it wrong. Fuck that nigga. Like, no, if you really gonna be about something, if you live in a place and you see a brother getting extorted, it's like, okay, I've been here a while, you may want to talk to this dude. He's a lawyer. He dealt with situations like this before, be those type of brothers. Don't be the, oh, fuck them niggas. They fucking with my reputation. I can't stand that. Go for it.
It's kind of funny that you just sat back and just basically said, take advantage of network, when that's all I've been saying all day. The passport bro movement is a network. You literally just said, hey, if you find the guys got themselves in a problematic situation, reach out to some guys that may be able to give you some information. That's literally all I've been saying all day. We're saying that the guys in that video, for example, didn't take advantage of the network of guys, whether they use a passport bro title or not, didn't take advantage of the guys. I know several men that are doing successful things in Cartagena right now that I mean, just regular round the way brothers that they could have reached out to and kept that situation from occurring. But quite obviously, based off the results, they either did and didn't care about the advice that they got, or didn't get advice at all and decided to come to Cartagena and wing it. And by winging it, they end up with the results that they have. Any country that I go to and other guys come to, I mean, guys that I have never met, never heard before, and they'll sit back and they'll say, Andre, I got your number from so-and-so and so. I'll be in Cali, Colombia. Do you mind showing me this? Do you mind? All week long I get that. And I have no problem because I realize the value of networking. If I were to go in Mexico where this brother is, I'm not going to go down there and wing it. I'm going to try to reach out to him and say, brother, I know you don't know me, but my name is Andre from Love Crossing Borders. Do you mind when I get down there? Could you recommend some restaurants or some places that I would go to? Is there a beach area over there? I know, take advantage of the network. That's what most mature guys try to do. I'm not shaming this other thing about us as black people. We confuse advice as shame.
No,
we sit back and we think that we often think that when a person says, for example, when because those guys because at the end of the day, though that behavior before you get off the plane is a pookie. In other words, the definition of passport pookie is the guy that definitely does not want to do or follow it. It uses common sense. He comes and he just thinks he can come to another country. I'm gonna I can win.
Andre, I only got one point, man.
I'm not shaming. I'm just saying that they don't use common sense.
You trying to have a group without membership. Like
we didn't say a group. See, I said this earlier. Passport Bro is not a group.
Well,
it's
then
not
a group.
It's a network. It's guys being able to reach out to other guys. You guys are making the mistake of thinking that it's a group of guys, but it's just guys reaching out to other guys just for information, just on how to get off the plane safely.
But what you're trying to do is an establish, not a group. You're trying to establish a set of I don't want to say requirements, but
could you not just use the
common
term
standards? Common standards around the network.
Like I just said.
That's what I'm about to say. Common standards around the network. Usually, that requires some form of membership to be able to weed out, keep out, and establish your own core set of principles and beliefs. That's all I'm trying to say. Like when you have a frat, what keeps a frat in line is membership. And I don't like even saying this, but even the gang knows to have a group, you got to have membership.
And passport,
bro. See. You guys are trying to get,
and if you don't have this membership, you're gonna always be having this argument when things come out. That's not us. That's not us.
And there's no structure.
And if you did have membership, you wouldn't have to say that's not us because you'll say he ain't a member.
I want to respond.
And I agree with you 100%. And yet if you have memberships or a president and vice president, what country is it going to be in? Remember, this is a global phenomenon. This is not just the U.S.
That's not for me.
This is a global phenomenon.
I'm not
absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And since you are not a passport bro, or are you an expat? Do you live outside the United States?
No, I don't.
Since you're not an expat and you're not a passport bro, the knowledge that you have about this topic is limited. So for those of us when the camera's
American brothers.
Hear me out.
You're not arguing with a bunch of Colombian dudes. You're arguing with us.
But realize, not everybody on this panel are guys that don't use passports. There are other guys on this panel that take advantage of their passports as well. Actually, there's more guys on this panel that are from the States like we are that are taking advantage of passports than guys on this panel that aren't taking advantage of their passports right now. There are more travelers on this panel right now. What are you talking about?
If you're going to have an organization, of any type.
Nobody said organization. Nobody said organization. No one said group.
No, but I mean, you're talking about qualifications to speak on a.
Can I please? I want to respond.
Disqualified because there is.
Can I please respond? I want to respond. Please let me respond. Is there some kind of like a membership group for men that are paying child support? Because if you're paying child support in America, what is there some membership for that? Like, if you are doing whatever you're doing in America, you say, oh, you can get a woman in America, and you get a woman knocked up, you're going to be paying her for 20 years. Do you have to file some kind of membership for that? Like,
bro, you already know ain't no such thing as no child support
okay,
group.
so
It ain't
You're
even a
part
group.
of the court
What
system
point? Hold on,
membership. They sign you up.
What point are you? Hold on, wait, real quick. Go ahead. What point are you trying to make? I don't even understand where you're going when you ask that question. Go ahead.
Why do you have to file some kind of like application form to be a passport bro if you don't have to file an application to be a baby daddy or someone's paying child
Man,
support?
who is this guy? Because I'm
I
about to
mean,
eat up.
dude.
Can I justify that really quick? So when you go to court,
Absolutely.
If you get a chick knocked up in America, you're gonna be paying, if you're lucky, $600, $700, $800 a month
by the court, so you're signed up by the court system.
Okay, so but if a dude goes overseas and spends
it's a lifestyle choice. It's not.
But if a dude goes overseas and spends $200, you're gonna look down on that dude. Like, I don't understand the double standard. If a dude just says, I don't want to date dudes,
Oh, I see what you're saying. No. We're not saying that passport bros are bogus. What we're trying to do is to prevent this misgeneralization and bogus stereotype. What people usually do is they form a group that requires some base core benchmark standards in order to be a part of.
But there's no white group of men that are going overseas to travel. There's no white group. There's no other group of people that are filing applications for this. I mean, if you're a grown man, you can do what you want. What is?
I don't even understand where the white people came
There absolutely is. There absolutely is. If you go to Belize, in the city of Corozal, right outside of the city of Corozal, they have not only a community of whites from the States and Canada that are there, they have a whole network situation of how to get there, how to get yourself a house, how to get your water and stuff set up there, there in Corozal. Okay, I know because I got family in Corozal, and we deal with these people all the time.
What percentage of white men that have passports that are going overseas is that group of people? Is it 1%? Is it a tenth of a percent?
Why is that even important? You said none. That's the thing. You said none, and you just got proved that none is not true.
Why are we holding black men to a standard that we're not holding anyone else to?
No. Black men hold themselves to the standard in general, man. Like, I can't go say I'm a Q or Kappa or anything without having a membership. That's all we're saying is that in order to preserve what you're talking about, you got slideshows, you got you have rules of conduct, how you supposed to carry yourself. You saying these group-like things, but not taking the natural progression to protect this group that you care about.
Who can be in hip hop? Who can be in hip hop? Is there rules and
what's the application for?
Look at the L Gibbons. I'm L Gibbons.
So their group, the LGBTQ, is that a group?
And this is the last thing. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna get down. But this is similar to when back in the 90s, dudes was telling these girls, you a good girl, that's a hoe. Separate yourself. And the battle cry that they came up with is, if she a hoe, I'm a hoe, we all hoes. Now, I'm saying, please don't use that same logic for the black men trying to do something, man. You're going to have to codify something. If you want to be a group, somehow, some way, you at least get into your network.
Not a group. Don't want to be a group.
Well, then stop arguing to protect the group.
Nobody's. There is no group to protect. What are you talking about? I said
then
network.
Why are we having this discussion?
We said,
okay,
you're
your
using
network,
the term group.
Your network.
The network.
If nobody in your network knows
individuals that I call on my cell phone, a network, not a group of. It's not a group. See, we like to put stuff in bubbles or in a small pool and sit back and say, well, this is this and this is that. No, I like what the brother said about when passport bros, or not named passport bros, just men traveling. They go down and they go initially for women. My channels and other guys' channels are not dedicated to that, but those channels that are needed. for guys that are going down to other countries and they're enjoying the ladies. And I support it 100%. Guys going on vacation or they're relocating and finding love or friendship among the ladies and friends. And I love that.
Okay, let's use a
I
different.
need Andre equally as much.
Not part of your network.
Hear me out. But when the guys sit back and say, like the brother said, you know what? I came down for the ladies, but I really like being in this part of Mexico. How do I stay here, or how do I get back? That's where dudes like me come in to showcase, or him in Mexico come in to show you how to come back and forth on a regular vacation with our networking information. So where you're not just a vacationer, now you're slowly becoming an expat or a passport bro. But there's nothing wrong with starting off and I'm going to say this. There's nothing wrong with starting off your journey because of the ladies or because of tourism or because you just find a place in Barcelona, a club that parties all night long. No matter how you start it, but there should be a group of us also that want to help guys that say, I want to live in Barcelona. What should I do? Don't worry, brother. I got a network of brothers in Barcelona right now. I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to connect you to them, and they can help you out with getting your visa over there. That's what the beauty of the passport bro movement is. It does start in one place, like the one brother say, in a lot of our cases with the ladies. Nothing wrong with that. But there is a network of us on the other side that helps us say, now I can show you how to stay in these countries that you love so much. That's the beauty of the passport bro.
Are there any qualifications to be a passport bro and to be part of that network, though? Are there any qualifications?
The first thing of any network is, do you offer something as well as extract something?
I asked a simple question, my brother. It's a yes or no.
You asked what the qualifications were, weren't you?
No, I said, do you need qualifications?
Anybody being your network.
Right.
Anybody being your network.
For example, non-blacks. I'm gonna be very quite frank. Can non-blacks be part of Passport Bros network, as you would use that term? Let's use your terminology. Network. So can whites, can Canadians that are whites, can Russians, Europeans, Passport Bros?
I'm glad you asked that. Based off the answer that the founder of the hashtag said, he said no, because they don't need it.
But a lot of these the reason why I asked that question is because a lot of OGs in the game, like yourself, a lot of the OGs, I'm not saying you are doing this, but a lot of them are making this Passport Bro network all inclusive, so everybody can just join with no structure. And I think that's a big problem, because as what you said, according to the founder of this network, he was very precise how he labeled and gave a description. Keep it that way. Don't start modifying things.
Yep.
I'm not saying you particularly. No. I'm just saying in general.
I actually live my life. If I were to be called a passport bro, I could be easily said that I've tried to live my life based off of the definition of cost of living, of cultures, of countries, and of when it comes to enjoying the ladies. And now I'm married. But when I first started, I was just like everybody else, enjoyed the ladies, but I wasn't a pay for play dude. I was just a dude that just came down, and not going at the pay for play guys. They could do that too, but there are guys that come down here and just meet somebody walking down the street, have a date, and enjoy their vacation as well. So there are those of us that do that as well. My point is, I have
a personal question.
Go ahead.
A personal question, really quick, and I'm not trying to jump on your bumper or anything like that, but I'll give you a hypothetical situation. So I'm sure you do consultations, right? So if some white guy from, let's say, Yugoslavia, if he came down and he did a consultation with you and said, listen, hey, I want to be part of this Passport Bro network.
You wouldn't do a consultation with me.
No, but okay, so my question is, would you say yes, you can?
I would say no.
Or would you deny him?
I wouldn't do the consultation.
No, you're not answering my question directly. I asked you, if he asked you personally, okay, let's leave out the consultation, right? If he just said, listen, I watched your channel, you're doing amazing things, and etc. So for validation from you, if he asked you specifically, personally, can I be a passport? Can I be part of the Passport Bro network? Would you say yes or no? It's a simple
I would say no.
question.
My answer would be no. My answer is
That's what's up.
100% no. I've always advocated for black men to have something of our own. And every time we always let people infiltrate, whether it
Shout
be
out to you.
ninjas or whether it be people from other countries. This is ours. We started this thing. It's our network coming together, supporting us on a global basis. I ain't got no white boys in this phone.
Hey.
Do I do now? Have I done interviews with white boys and white magazines? Yes, I have. But when it comes to being a passport bro, you don't need it. If you're a white dude that needs it, and another thing,
a representative, man.
Hear me out.
You trying to push you to move it forward.
No, and I agree with you, brother. But also hear me out. If a white dude even asked me for a consultation to become a passport bro, because there is no way of becoming a passport bro, or try to get some information to infiltrate our knowledge, I'll turn that money down. You know how much money I've turned down from white boys? Money I've turned down from dudes that don't want to do it the right way, or money from guys that don't care anything about what we're doing. They just want to get the quick sex. Andre, how do I get to the ladies? And that's all I want to know. No, brother, there's another brother down the street. You can do a consultation with him. But as for us, we try to show us black men in a positive light that we're going out and we're doing it the right way with no matter how many women that we meet or no matter how many countries we go to. There are some good brothers in all these countries. And most of us, I'll say this again before I shut up, most of us don't get the results of what took place in that video. That's why I go on panels. If you ever wonder why I go on panels, most of us are not those guys that behave on that panel. Most of us are like most of you guys in this panel, some good brothers that are going and enjoying your lives.
I'm glad you brought it back to that, because I think the whole reason why everybody is kind of talking past each other with most of the disagreements is that Andre, for good reasons, he is all about protecting the image and reputation of brothers that travel. So when he sees something bad like that, he want to speak firmly against it. And I think that's his biggest motivation in doing this, in his pursuit of doing what he definitely think is the right thing. It probably was, it's probably too much criticism of some brothers who's just not at that level of passporting, where they just do it, periodically on them. They get 2 weeks vacation, they go down there, they live it up and they party. And it did sound like he was kind of shitting on those guys because they not there on that level yet, where they doing business and they can live there for half the year or the whole year, or to be it's like it came off like that. So I think you ended up doing something that a lot of people viewed as the wrong thing, but I think you was doing it for the right reason, fighting and protecting the image and reputation of Passport Bros. I think that's why everybody been talking past each other.
And it's not just the image of the Passport Bros. If the Passport, Bernard, if the Passport Bros never existed, it's my responsibility to protect the image of our brothers who are travelers. Okay. It's my job. It's just me personally. When guys see me and these cameras go off, no guy can say, Andre talking, but I saw him down in Colombia with some of the Afro-Colombian chicks behind his wife back. No guy can say that. I'm not just faithful to my wife for me, but I'm also faithful to my wife because I want other countries to see there are some really good brothers with passports, and everybody's not ending up on World Star.
Fair enough. All right. Ace Fast is on the panel. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat that you just sent. He says, advice is viewed as shame. That woman in the video fighting like that because she got a train. That actually was a myth. That was a narrative, and
not true.
That was that part wasn't true. But fighting like that, she got a train ran her, and the guys didn't pay. They did try to pay. She tried to hustle them to get a higher price, but or hustle him to get a higher price. He says guys are doing way too much overseas, getting killed and not knowing the rules. Yeah, that's the issue. I just found out about that. The 8 guys who got killed down there. So I've been
5 of them just in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on now with all of that. But yeah, that's messed up. But
the average of Americans that get killed in Jamaica is 48 Americans a year. So it's not just Passport Bros per se. it is not just even sex pats and black pats and all of that stuff. Anywhere you go, there's going to be a certain amount of risk, no matter where you go. And it's just really all about being aware of where to go, where not to go, what to do, what not to do, so forth and so on. The first time I went to LA, I almost got shot in the face because I had the wrong colors on, and I was there to see family.
Yeah. That can happen anywhere. You don't know what the hell you're doing. But Passport OG, thank you for coming up on the panel and giving your take and perspective. Appreciate the super chat. He says, salute Bernard. Thanks for having me up. Absolutely. Anytime. All right, go ahead, Ace Fast. You got it. You got the flow. You got the mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, basically what I was trying to say is I heard the brother just say that, well, 48 Americans got killed in Jamaica. I'll just take Colombia, for example, because that's where I started off and where my journey began. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, Colombia was not the death trap that it is now. And the main correlation that I saw is once a lot of us, and we just got to be frank and own the accountability, once a lot of us got down there, it turned into basically Dominican Republic 2.0. And that comes from, we're talking about memberships, and you don't need a membership to learn how to do something the right way. If you play football, right, you don't have to be on a team to get education to learn how to be the best ball player you can be. It's no different with traveling. Andre is a guy who you can consult with him, and he can teach you some things and teach you what to do.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Hold on, let me interrupt you. Royce A just put in the back chat. He said, "Got to drop down to get ready for my own show." Thanks again, Bernard and panel. Moderators, get his link. Drop it in the chat room. I don't even. BA, you got a channel? Put your link in the private chat. The moderators, everybody, we'll get it. My fault if I got put links in the chat room. But those of you on the panel got channel. We already know Pablo link in there. Dave, I don't know if you got a link, but yeah, y'all got links. Put them in the private chat.
I ain't got a channel. Y'all help me get through these work days.
Okay, cool. Glad to help. But yeah, BA, put your link in the private chat. Yeah, get some links circulating through the chat room. We about to wrap this up real soon. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Ace. You got it.
But yeah, I was just saying it's a certain level of decorum and structure that guys are just refusing to follow. And when you try to tell guys, hey, there's a certain way to move. Yeah, there's pay for play, but there's other ways to go about dating women if that's what you want to do. You're either dick policing, you're shaming, you're this, you're that. If so there's no helping nobody because nobody wants to listen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're watching dudes every other week. It's somebody getting killed, robbed, set up, shot. I mean, how do you?
Wait, hold on. Let me ask this question. Hold on. Let me ask this question. Has it been a steady percentage of Americans or steady percentage of Black Americans that die over in those areas, but now because passport bros are so popular, it makes internet news now? Or are we really seeing a spike in it? That's I guess that's my question. Do any of y'all have any idea what's the answer?
Well, let me say this. In 2023, I think it was 37 was the number of American tourists who were killed or died under mysterious circumstances in Colombia.
But that doesn't even say Black.
Exactly.
It don't say Black or male. So it's like, okay, but yeah, go ahead.
So please recognize we are still in the minority of the travelers who visit this country. So it stands to reason that we still in the minority of that. So I'm just saying.
We may be in the minority.
What did you mean when you said Dominican Republic 2.0?
Say it again.
What did you mean when you said Dominican Republic 2.0?
It's more about tricking, partying, and doing dumb shit than it is being a nice, quiet, ducked off country. That's what I meant.
Gotcha.
I mean, have you been to the Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go to Colombia prior to what, 5, 6, 7 years ago?
No.
Okay. Well,
completely
if you did,
different
you would
country.
know they're two that it's way different than what it used to be. I mean, our reputation in Colombia used to be You get a black man, he's gonna be romantic, he's gonna treat you right, this, that, and the third. Now you go down there, you see a black man, and our rep is he got his dick in his hand, his camera in another hand, and he's trying to get some pussy. I'm telling you, that's what it is now.
But I think that's more towards the pros,
No,
try
it's
to keep
not
it
just
clean.
it,
In that context, because I didn't mean to cut you off or whatnot, but
Go
just
ahead.
like in Brazil, right, with the whole Holloman situation, and people would ask, well, what do the majority of the Brazilians think about black brothers or American brothers in the States based on that situation? Ain't nobody talking about it in Brazil like that. It's not that serious, It was just blown out of proportion when it comes to social media, and et cetera, right? So when it comes to just us in general, you can call it the DR 2.0. It depends on what you're into. Like when I was out there in the DR back in 2018, that shit was cracking. Excuse my French, but I went to the strip, but I also stayed in Cabarete, so which was about like maybe 15 minutes from Sosua. But when I was going to Sosua every day just to look at the women and just the atmosphere, that shit was cracking. You feel me? So, and it was very enjoyable just to be in that environment. So I'm not gonna knock it, but at the same time, you can still, enjoy the lifestyle that Andre is having also. Be by the beach, go to a restaurant and just chill throughout the day and have a nice conversation. Just like when you guys had initially said in the beginning, you don't have to be just one thing or the other. You don't have to be a mongerer, or you don't have to be 100% just lovey-dovey or etc. You can be in this gray area, and that's the best part about being overseas, because you have that freedom,
brother,
that
I don't think
leverage.
nobody's saying that you can't indulge in the pay for play or you have to be married, and nobody's saying that. What we're saying is there are certain rules on both sides of the game that men are not following. What you have now in Colombia that you didn't have years ago is dudes started going down there. Instead of just doing the pay for play and keeping it on the hush, they started broadcasting that shit out there. No country wants to be on the forefront outside of Amsterdam, I can think, where prostitution and fucking hoes is broadcasted out to the internet, right?
Yeah, that's how
That's why I
Austin
said
got
turn
in
off
trouble.
the camera. Turn
That's
off
how
the
Austin,
camera.
I agree.
Austin got in trouble with them.
I agree
for
with
that
the brother.
same reason.
It has gotten so bad that this week every 3 to 4 years Colombians have an election just like in the States, but they get all the new mayors go into office at the same time, January 1st, and all the new governors January 1st. This is how bad it is. This is the first year that all of the major city governors and mayors had a meeting at the beginning of the year about how to curb pay for play and the deletion of guys that are taking place. Now that was early January. This week they're having, you can look it up right now, the U.S. Embassy, not just in the State Department in the States, are having a special meeting with the Department of Transportation as well as their version of Homeland Security here in Colombia, with the mayor of certain cities, Medellin and Cartagena, to curb it even more. That's how serious they are, because dudes came down here, just like my brother was saying about DR. At a point in time, it was great. It was the same thing here in Colombia when I got here in 2016, 17. Great, you love it. If you a pay-for-play dude, cool. If you're a dude that like regular women, cool. It was great. Now it's so dangerous. Now you like I said, now y'all got the white man in our business. It was a time period where brothers could just come down and have a great. Now y'all want to get your passports and leave, and you don't want the white man to be. Now you got him in our business. So now the governmental departments are coming together because the brothers want to get off the plane. Not all. I will sit back and say this, and I can easily say this, and I don't know all brothers, but I can easily say this: of the 3+ million that go to Cartagena every year, and those that have done pay for play, most of them have no problem. Most of them have fun, come down, or the guys that meet women, just regular women, have fun and get back on the plane safely. We try to give a warning label to those guys that are out there. Like the one guy got kicked out of Colombia last year. He out there throwing money in the air, and then he's in a family location off the balcony being intimate with a woman off the. You're going to get kicked out of a country. It doesn't take membership to tell you. Common sense will get you kicked out of a country if you're outside of Disney and you're being intimate with a woman. Certain things don't take memberships, and so now the government's saying if you foreigners can't take a hold of your common sense when you get off the plane, don't worry about it. We got it. And so now the area where all the pay-for-play was in that video, that area is shut down completely. The clubs gone. All them clubs are gone. Last weekend they had a giant film. My boy filmed it because he lived there. He showed us a giant, one of those blow-up video screens and chairs, families, kids. They showing Disney movies and everything else. Ain't none of that no more. The governments are serious about not just controlling the pay-for-play. They had no problem with that. But the fact that dudes are now getting deleted on a regular basis, the U.S. government is not going for it. And here's the embassy that came down. The U.S. embassies came down, leaders, not just the U.S. embassy in Bogota, but their bosses came down to Colombia this week. UK and Canada embassy bosses came down and had a meeting with the department, the Homeland Security down here, and that leader, Department of Transportation down here this week, guys. So this is more serious than what you guys think about. It's not about you guys coming down and having fun. They had no problem with that part. The problem was when dudes are getting deleted on a regular basis, and me and my wife actually did a video on it that, guys, it's July. September is coming. Colombia starts celebrating September, start celebrating Christmas in September. Anybody that lives down here know that. It's going to get dangerous, guys. Make sure that you don't get online. Don't use apps. No apps. No online. Everybody that comes down to Colombia, know you don't use apps and you don't use online dating. But what do those other brothers do? They forget all about what we said. I'm going to do it my way. And then when they get those results, all of a sudden the mainstream media or even the social media in the States, it was a passport bro. And we're looking like, wait a minute, whoa, these dudes never said they was passport bros. How come every time these dudes do something crazy, they want to put it on us brothers and put it a part of our network?
Listen, I got the answer to that. I have the answer to that. The answer to that is black male sexuality has always been threatening for various reasons. And here in the United States, we are expected to, quote unquote, stay in our lane, stay in our place, and going too far afield right now is scaring a lot of people. American women, for one. Listen, white women never said a mumbling word about Brad and them going to Thailand and Philippines or wherever it was, or Eastern Europe or wherever it was they were going, until who started showing up on social media.
We've been going to the DR and Colombia. The problem is now with the younger group of guys, and I'm part of that group. I'm 34. Is they're doing shit that they wouldn't do here in other countries. It's one thing to go down and pay for play and indulge in the festivities. That's fine. But when you got your camera out, you're putting if you join these Facebook groups, you'll see it. You'll see guys posting videos of what they did with the prostitute online, right? Or they're filming, the debauchery that they're engaging in, and they're posting it to the internet. Or you got guys out there, or you have guys out there also that this is not talked about. They're instead of going and dating a nice, wholesome chick, they bigging up the prostitutes. Now
would you believe me if I told you that white men have a whole website devoted to that?
We're not. Talking,
let me finish. Let me finish.
But I wasn't finished.
As well as here on YouTube.
I'm gonna let you.
As well as here on YouTube.
Dude,
two white men, one in DR and one in Brazil, at the same time Austin Holloman was in his dust up, were doing the exact same thing. One of them went into a spot in DR showing the condoms at the front desk with his working girl in tow on video, the whole kit. My point
The
is,
percentage
I
of them.
understand.
Hold on. I wasn't done, bro. If you could just let me finish.
All right. We're gonna let the brother finish. We do got to wrap this up pretty soon because I'm supposed to shut it down.
All
at
I'm saying
the
is
3-hour mark.
I get it. Hey, Bernard, I get it. I get tired.
All right,
of
I'm gonna get up
hearing-
out of here. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
get
peace,
tired of hearing about, the white men and what they're doing. We're not here for them. This is a black male media space. Our reputation and the way we conduct ourselves affects us. It doesn't matter what a white dude does, okay? The percentage of us doing it is and being debaucherous with it and posting it to the internet and doing all that stuff is way higher than any other demographic. Right, wrong, or indifferent, doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's too many black men going down there doing the fucking most. And that's why we have the results we have. And until we can own that and really put a correction to it and start trying to get the pendulum to go another way, shit's just going to get worse. Because white men have been going there and they didn't have these issues. Go ahead, you got it.
All right, I disagree with we're doing it more. No, we're more visible. We're not doing it more. We're more visible. We attract more attention. I agree with that part. But the reason I use the other example of white males is back to my original point, which was, for some reason, Black American men are not allowed to be full human beings. I'm not allowed to have a healthy sex life. I'm not allowed to stun on them, as they would say. Whether it be, it's all right if your local rapper goes out and he got 1,000 gold chains on and bitches twerking on the damn Bentley. It's all right.
Yeah, that's
now all of a sudden, wait. Now all of a sudden, it's some real everyday working brothers doing it. It's a problem. We got to stop it. You see where I'm going with that?
No,
that's a big fact.
If you do that. That's okay if you do that in America, though. The rules are different when you go to a foreign land where the wolves are out, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't go. Dudes want to stunt there because they couldn't stunt here, right? And I get it. Folks want to stunt and they want to show off, but when you go to another country with that mentality, that will get your ass killed. And that's what's happening in Colombia. Dudes who couldn't stunt here, who couldn't be fully human, like you said, here, they go do it there. And then what ends up happening? Girls set them up, the pimp set them up, the taxi set them up. Stunting ain't never, that's an American culture thing, not just a black thing. That's an American thing. You take that shit to a foreign land, it doesn't matter if it's Colombia, Barcelona, you do that shit in the wrong areas, you will get killed for it. And until brothers grasp that fully, you're going to see every week somebody's either getting drugged, shot, or killed. That's the whole point. Quit with that.
All right, we got to wrap it up. Great conversation. Great conversation. We got to wrap this on up. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on through. Oh, thank you, brother. Truth to be told, that black men really need to stop depolicing already. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who in the building. And last but not least, before we get out of here,
welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right, we've done so much, so little for so long, we're not qualified to do anything with nothing. Make sure you go and subscribe to Machismo TV. The link to that should be pinned to the top of the chat room. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the stream. Thank you to all the gentlemen for, excellent conversation. And with that said, we out of here. Peace. We gone.